long playoff run.
Well, Gus, it's very rare in the National Football League that you'll hear a head coach say, we're playing really well right now. But that's exactly what Bill Cowher told us last night. He said even when they've struggled early on, they've been able to bounce back, put in some things to be able to fix the problems, and continue to play a complete game, a big part of their success this year.
Corey Dillon, one of the great runners in the league, is ready to make his mark today against the #1 defense in the NFL.
As we take some of the National Football League.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, a franchise defined by 4 Super Bowl titles. That once proud tradition is now reborn. At 12-2, the Steelers have claimed the Central Division behind the NFL's #1 ranked rushing attack. Quarterback Wardell Stewart has elevated his game into the MVP stratosphere, and even without the Bucs, the Steelers' smash mouth style is on a victory roll. Just 1 win away from home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Steelers, Bengals on CBS. It's the National Football League on CBS Sports from Paul Brown Stadium in downtown Cincinnati. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a salute to teams who have overcome obstacles and are now forces to reckon with. Subway, eat fresh. The Giants kept their playoff hopes alive as the Kerry Collins touchdown pass to Ike Hilliard with 20 seconds remaining earned New York a 27-24 Week 15 win over the Seahawks. Buccaneers quarterback Brad Johnson threw 3 touchdowns in a 48-21 rout of the Saints as Tampa Bay took a 1-game lead in the race for an NFC wildcard playoff spot.
I want to tell the world about a friend I know. He eats that Subway, which is where I go. I'm so happy I just gotta smile, 'cause thanks to Jared I have a whole new style.
With exercise and a diet including Subway's 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, people are finding a tasty way to look and feel better.
Anyone sitting here?
Subway, eat fresh.
Proud sponsor of the American Heart Association's Heart Walk.
Paul Brown Stadium, sellout crowd in attendance, ready to see the Steelers and the Bengals on a chilly day here in downtown Cincinnati. 20 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's 9. Cincinnati has won the toss, will receive. Dick LeBeau in his 2nd season. His team has struggled as of late. Losers of 7 in a row. On the other sideline, however, Bill Cowher and the Steelers red hot. Winners of 7 straight. If they win today, they clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. And a series note, Pittsburgh leads it 36-26, and they've won 16 of the last 21, including a 16-7 win earlier this season. So Chris Brown, who struggled this year with his field goal kicking, is ready to send it away. And back deep, TJ Houshmandzadeh, number 84, standing at the 10. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. And we're underway from Cincy. A line drive. Houshmandzadeh picking it up at the 16. Straight ahead, and Houshmandzadeh getting up to the 40. Oh, the ball. A fumble on the play. Recovered and taken down the sideline. Mike Logan picking it up. And he gets inside Cincinnati territory.
And Gus, I think you're going to see number 51, Mike Jones, a linebacker for the Steelers, just rip that ball out of Houshmandzadeh's arm prior to him going down. And keep your eye on 51, Mike Jones right here. There's the ball, left arm rips it right out.
So Pittsburgh takes over 1st and 10. At the Cincinnati 24. Here's Chris Fuamatama-Fala bringing it outside. He's wrapped up and taken down by Artrell Hawkins at the 25.
And Mike Jones been around this league for a long time, Gus. He knows exactly what's going on. You hold that ball carrier up. One guy holds him up. The other one strips it. You see him just rip the ball out of Houshmandzadeh's arms. Big-time play. Turnovers going to be an important part of today's game.
Second down and 11 from the 25. Cordell Stewart, the starting quarterback for the Steelers. Whitman goes in motion out of the backfield. Here's Stewart looking underneath, broken up at the last moment. Canute Curtis getting in on the play. And Cordell Stewart last week, the numbers in their demolition of the Detroit Lions. And Cordell Stewart, 11 touchdowns on the season, 5 interceptions, having an MVP-type year.
And really, Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, has designed this offense around Cordell Stewart. He's got some big weapons receiving as well as running. And, of course, he can always hurt you with his legs.
Third down and 11 at the 25. Here's Stewart. Under pressure, steps up, breaks a tackle, but is wrapped up and goes down. Darrell Williams, the safety, coming up and making the tackle. It's a loss of 7 on the play.
And I think you're going to see the defensive end, rookie player of the year candidate Justin Smith coming from the outside, getting the first pressure in right there, making Cordell Stewart step up in the pocket and right up into the fray. Pressure in the Cincinnati Bengals defensive line has been the strength of their defense this year. You see Justin Smith getting back there right now, forcing Cordell to step up into that pocket.
So Josh Miller comes in to punt. Standing at the 46, left-footed punter, end-over-end kick. Takes a bounce, deadens, and the Steelers down it inside the 10. A 25-yard punt. And the Steelers unable to take advantage of the turnover. No score.
Come on. What's in the air?
A lot of cargo room is a good thing. Right? The Accord from Honda.
Burger King introduces the new Hickory Bacon Cheddar Burger. Flame broiled beef topped with smoked cheddar cheese, 3 strips of sizzling bacon, onions, and creamy barbecue sauce. Get a single for 99 cents. A double for $1.49. A triple $1.99. The new Hickory Bacon Cheddar Burger. Have it your way, only at Burger King. Now for a limited time.
Come on, guys.
This is Dwayne Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is my favorite painting of them all.
Dwayne helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting after-school programs for kids.
Based on traditional thinking, he was considered a surrealist. Abstract thinking, yet classical form, was how the French interpreted the movement.
That looks like spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Welcome back to Cincinnati, and the Bengals have the ball at their own 9-yard line. John Kitna, the starting quarterback, he has struggled, throwing an interception in 9 straight games, and Kitna playing with an injured middle finger on his throwing hand.
Yeah, he hurt that a couple weeks ago against Jacksonville. Smashed it. It was about twice the normal size. And the swelling's really come down this week. He said he had a lot better week in practice. Expects to be more accurate. Better job with the touch now that that finger's come back down to normal size.
So the Bengals turn it over on the opening kickoff. Pittsburgh unable to capitalize. And now Cincinnati, who features one of the great young running backs in the NFL, and Corey Dillon, already over 1,000 yards this year for Corey. He's averaging close to 4 yards per carry. First down and 10 at the 9-yard line. Darnay Scott in motion. Here's Dillon on the handoff over the right side. Dillon gets to the 15. It's a gain of 6. Kendrell Bell with the tackle. Offensively for the Cincinnati Bengals, ranked 28th overall in the NFL. Webb, Rayberg, Brom, Goff, Willie Anderson. Backs and receivers, Corey Dillon last week versus the Ravens. 24 carries, 127 yards. Neal, the blocking fullback, Scott and Warwick, along with Kirk McMullen at tight end. Second down 4 at the 15. They throw it to the far side, and it is Scott with the reception. Gets close to the 20. Tackled on the play by Jason Gilden, close to a first down for Darnay Scott. Pittsburgh Steelers last week versus Detroit, they held the Lions to only 151 yards. The defense has 8 sacks in the last 2 games. Smith, Hampton, Von Oelhoffen, they use the 3-4. The linebackers, Kendrell Bell, the rookie out of Georgia, outstanding year. Holmes, Gilden, and Porter on the ends. And in the secondary, Alexander Flowers are the safeties with Washington and Chad Scott at the corners. Third down 1 from the 18. Play action, Kitna setting up in the pocket, looking downfield for Scott. It is Darnay Scott at the 32 with the first down, a gain of 49.
And Gus, if these Bengals are going to be able to compete with the Steelers today, they're going to have to be aggressive in their play calling. That was a classic example, 3rd and half a yard. No free safety on top, play action. No, this ball hangs up for an awful long time. Dwayne Washington doesn't actually go up and make a play on the ball. He actually lets Darnay Scott just look it right into his shoulders. Scott didn't jump for it or anything. You just wonder if Washington lost the ball on the side.
42nd catch of the year for Darnay Scott, 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 33. The pitch to Dillon. Following his block, Dillon with an opening. Dillon breaks it down the sideline. Tackled at the 15 by Lee Flowers, but it's a gain of 18. And this Cincinnati team on a good drive right now.
And watch the block, Gus, by Scott Rayburn, the left tackle here, kicking out Dwayne Washington. That opens up the hole for Corey Dillon to get down the sideline, making some things happen. Big block by Scott Rayburn there.
And the Bengals are 16-3 this season in their last 19 home season finales. They'll end the season at Tennessee next week. Kitna underneath, bobbled, incomplete. Intended for Peter Warwick. And Warwick had the ball, just unable to hold on. And Peter has certainly had his problems this year. Leads the team in receptions, 55 on the year, but he's averaging under 10 yards per catch.
And Gus, this Bengal receiving unit has to get more consistent catching the ball. They definitely have some talent. They just haven't been able to make the key catch when they've needed to. Been a little inconsistent this year. You can't have that and develop confidence when your receivers are dropping the ball.
Second down and 10 at the Pittsburgh 15. They pitch it to Dillon with a blocker. Dillon chopped down by Chad Scott. Nice job by the left corner coming up and making the tackle.
And when you think of the Steelers defense, you think of the linebackers, but their secondary does an outstanding job of coming up and forcing the run. They've got a couple of corners there that can really make some tackles. That's so important when you have corners that want to stick their head in there and make some tackles and come up. And you saw Scott coming up and sticking his helmet right in there and making some tackle.
Great return when he picks one off.
Yeah, he does. Make some things happen.
Third down 11 at the 16. They need to go to the 5 for a first down. Kitna looking underneath. It's caught. Warwick with the first down. Leads forward, inches short of the touchdown. A 15-yard gain.
Now, I'm not sure if that was man coverage or if the Steelers just got caught. Watch, it looks like actually zone right here. You're going to see Work come right into there, into the hole, finding the hole in the zone and split in the middle. We actually have to have a linebacker here. The Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the linebacker nickel guys need to be dropping in that zone. Somebody got flushed out of that zone, allowed Warwick to find that open hole.
First down and goal at the 1. Dillon the deep man. They give it to him, and Dillon stood up at the goal line and finally taken down by Lee Flowers.
Looked like the Steelers might have been offsides, moving on their right side of the line prior to the snap.
Offside defense. Defensive tackle. Pass the distance. Remain first down.
And when we talked to Coach Dick LeBeau yesterday, he told us they were going to score some points today.
He said there's no choice. They need to score some points. It's been frustrating. They haven't been able to score a lot of points. They've been on a big losing streak since a big win over Detroit here 7 weeks back. And you can't win in this league if your offense doesn't score points.
8th play of the drive that started at the 9-yard line.
Here's Kitna on the roll, looking in the end zone, takes it himself, and is wrapped up and taken down at the 5. Looked like a busted play. Jason Gilden gets to him. And there's the play action you're always calling for on the goal line, and it was a good move.
It does. Great call. Although the Steelers were ready for it, they've been really surprised, I think, by the aggressive play calling thus far of the Bengals. And when John Kitna realizes he's not going to throw the ball, he's going to step up and run, it's tough to get past this linebacking crew of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got such great team speed.
So Kitna loses 4 on the play. The former Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback signed a 4-year contract coming over to Cincinnati. 2nd down and goal at the 5. Kitna, short drop to fade in the corner for Scott, incomplete. Nice coverage by Dwayne Washington. And that will bring up 3rd down and goal at the 5.
And I think John Kitna said, hey, I'm going to go back. I already had a big play with Darnay Scott on Dwayne Washington. Let's go back and see if we can't use that size to our advantage once again. But he just overthrew it a little bit. Dwayne Washington was right there this time. You don't have that room to maneuver as much and make a whole lot of moves once you're inside that 5-yard line.
And a look this season, the Pittsburgh Steelers in the red zone. They don't allow you to get there very often. Kitna into the corner, broken up. Lee Flowers.
Yes, actually, John Kitna didn't get a chance to set his feet. Mike Logan was coming in on the safety blitz. You see the effort right here by Danny Farmer, but there's nobody around to block. Logan coming off the corner, and Kitna didn't have time to set his feet to throw the ball.
Brings on Neil Rackers. Has not attempted a field goal in the last 2 games. He's 12 of 21 this year. This one from 23 yards out is up and good. So the Bengals, meanwhile, a flag on the play. So let's see. And it will go against Cincinnati.
And Gus, usually when they call it, it's from the wing position right there off the end. Holding.
43 offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Kirk McMullen. So Rackers will have to do it again.
And guys, like I said, that usually comes from that wing position, just trying to hold the outside rusher. Watch McMullen right here. He's going to hold the outside rusher here, hangs on and actually grabs him and pulls him down by the jersey right there. When you see those shoulders turn, you know it's a hold.
So now this will be a 32-yard field goal attempt for Rackers. And he misses.
Adolphus Busch started making Budweiser 125 years ago.
He purposely brewed Budweiser as a smooth, refreshing, premium lager. 5 generations later, we couldn't be more proud to be America's favorite beer.
Let me pour one.
This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you.
The Civic Coupe from Honda. It has earned a quadruple 5-star safety rating. But once you leave it, you're on your own.
Little help?
Last year I was on a cell phone. I said, make sure we have a backup for O'Neill. He heard Captain Antonio. So that's when we got free and clear with Sprint PCS. Real clear calls and nationwide long distance included. So now, wherever we go, what do we have?
A backup for O'Neill.
The Sprint PCS free and clear plan with nationwide long distance included. Every minute, every day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. The Civic from Honda, with more fun per gallon. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beer.
You're taking a look at downtown Cincinnati, and no score right now in the first quarter of play. Neil Racker's missing a 32-yard field goal, and the Steelers dodge a bullet. First down and 10 at the 23. Whitman in motion. They hand it off the pitchback. Stewart under pressure, fires it down the field for Hines Ward. He has it at midfield. A 30-yard gain.
And guess the Bengals are so lucky. Plexico Burress was open by 30 yards, an easy touchdown. If the Bengals don't get pressure on Cordell Stewart, it's a walk-in for Plexico Burress. And Hines Ward does a great job coming back and making the big catch. But it was a no-brainer for a touchdown.
First down and 10 at the 47. Here's Fuamata-Maafala. And Chris Fuamata-Maafala gets to the 43.
And let's watch Plexico Burress. Watch the safeties and the corners bite. There's nobody. There's nobody anywhere. Not even close. And now you see him getting the pressure. He's trying to come back to the ball. But that's the kind of play that Mike Mularkey's called this year. Some trick plays, some things that work on the athleticism of his players. And really, this Pittsburgh offense has developed some weapons, something that they haven't done in the past.
Second down and 5 at the 42. Stewart looking underneath. Burress with the catch. Turns it up at the 20. Heads to the end zone. Touchdown. Plexico Burress, 42 yards. And that is the 5th receiving touchdown of the year for Burress.
Well, he came back and got his touchdown anyway. And this young man has really grown this last year. Watch the confidence. This is a 10-year veteran play. Get off the line of scrimmage, be physical. Watch him stop and come back. Little push there. Hey, that's part of the hand checking. And he comes back and he gets inside, gets his shoulders upfield, makes something happen with the ball after the catch. And this is a confident young receiver that's having a big impact on the Steelers team.
Extra point is up and good. 3 plays, 77 yards. And they held the ball for a minute and 31 seconds. Plexico Burress developing as a receiver for Cordell Stewart. And the Steelers take a 7-0 lead.
With a smooth car-like ride, dual-side airbags, and a 240 horsepower engine.
Go ahead, I'll bring that in.
Hannah. It's one of the joys of parenthood. The Odyssey from Honda.
This way. You're not going to believe this.
What was stolen?
Everything. Payroll, R&D, customer records, all the assets.
How could they get everything?
I don't know. You're the cops.
The room is completely empty. All the assets were in this room?
Everything. Ned, the servers. They stole all our servers.
No, we moved everything onto that one. It's going to save us a bundle. I sent out an email.
IBM e-servers running Linux.
What's the server?
They can save you a bundle.
The Dolphins will go for it on 4th down. Going to throw over the middle. Hits his man. 15, 10.
matter who your favorite team is. NFL Shop is the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear from all 32 teams. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
As we've said, if you're into nostalgia, so it's 60 Minutes. And who better to get nostalgic about than Jackie Gleason? Tonight.
It is here that you will witness a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Outstanding catch and run after the catch by Plexico Burris. And as you take a look at the scoring drive, Pittsburgh taking the 7-0 lead. Line drive picked up at the 15, and Bushmanzada gets to the 30-yard line, a return of 18 yards. Cincinnati will try to answer right after this.
AOL keeps me closer to the people I love.
Everyone I know is on AOL.
I have a best friend that lives in Denver. With AOL, I talk to her every day.
We send pictures of our kids to their grandparents.
Oh, my grandpa loves AOL. He's on all the time.
Opening emails like Christmas. You know, you just never know what's coming.
Definitely keeps me connected to family and friends.
I mean, I'm even on my grandma's buddy list.
Am I on your buddy list?
Yeah.
America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-MORE-ONLINE.
When did you get this? There's the, Yep. Look at the,
There's nothing like a little variable valve timing to get people talking.
What's that, yeah, dipstick.
The Accord V6 from Honda.
You gotta watch CBS Thursday. What kind of killer?
This guy's good. Exceptional.
Can outsmart CSI. You're about to find out. Golden Globe nominated CSI. Then, the CIA has always battled terrorism.
Correct. Fingerprints are all over this.
But now the rules have changed.
Somebody with a Dixie cup and a plant could kill thousands.
And the gloves are off.
What the hell is going on there?
Go inside the world's most secret organization, the agency after CSI. CBS Thursday. You've gotta watch.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. And by America Online Vision 7.0. There's never been a better time to get online.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium. The Steelers lead the Bengals 7-0, 6:11 to play here in the first. John Kitna and company taking over at their own 31. Kitna on the play fake, looks downfield, firing long again. Bushmanzada, the intended receiver, and that ball underthrown. He has stepped.
And just when you want to talk about what makes championship teams and championship defenses, watch this play early on in the last Bengals drive. Peter Warrick catches the ball. Watch the hustle to the ball by the Steelers. Watch Dwayne Washington, Brent Alexander. They stop Warrick on the half-yard line. Good enough for the Steelers to make one heck of a goal line stand. From that point, the Bengals went backwards, missed the field goal, and those are the things that bring it to a championship level.
Second down and 10 at the 31. Here's Kitna again on the play fake. Kitna down the sideline, incomplete, a flag on the play. And this will go against Dwayne Washington. Bushmanzada, the intended receiver, and he was stood up. Should be pass interference or holding.
Illegal contact. 27 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
They say it's Alexander. Now let's go to New York for an update. Here's Jim Nance.
All right, in a matchup, the two highest scoring teams in the league. St. Louis, 68-yard drive. Falk gets in, but right back to Colts put together their own 68-yard scoring drive. It's Dominique Rhodes' 10th touchdown of the year. 7-7. Let's go back to Gus and Brett.
All right, Jim, our score here, Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati 7-0. And the Bengals stepping to the line of scrimmage at the 36. The handoff, Corey Dillon. Looking, Dillon lowers his shoulder and gets to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4. Earl Holmes with the tackle. Now log on to NFL.com and read Bill Sims' thoughts on how home field advantage in the playoffs is not as important as many people think. Just go to NFL.com or America Online. Keyword NFL.com.
But has Bill been on Heinz Field in January?
Yes. Well, Bill did play at Giant Stadium in January. Yeah. 2nd and 6. Dillon once again. And he may have gotten a half yard. And talking to Corey Dillon yesterday, you could sense the frustration setting in. This young man, such a great player in this league, but it's hard to run, Brent, when it's 9 and 8 men in the box on a regular basis.
And that's been the key, that the Bengals really haven't developed a threat or weapons in the passing game. It's been inconsistency all year. Therefore, the focus is all on stopping Corey Dillon every game they play.
Corey Dillon came into the game with 1,137 yards rushing. Getting out of the sideline, and this one caught Darnay Scott at the 45, make it the 46. Dwayne Washington and Brent Alexander in on the play, and he's about a yard short of the first down, maybe less.
And you know, one of my pet peeves is receivers that don't run their routes deep enough. That time, Darnay Scott was definitely deep enough. John Kitna just didn't get enough juice on the ball, and Darnay Scott did a nice job of coming back to the ball and making the catch, which brought him back in front of the first down marker.
And John Kitna playing with that injured middle finger, and that may affect the way he releases the football. So Cincinnati will gamble.
And I think they caught the Steelers off guard.
And Pittsburgh calls a timeout. Back to Cincinnati right after this.
Our special fish fillet, lamb chutney, and samosa. How about a brisket?
Fourth down and 1 for Cincinnati, gambling in their own territory. Down 7-0. Here's Corey Dillon looking for the first down, crawls forward, and it will depend on the spot.
And I think he's going to be short, Gus, maybe by about the length of the football. Took some contact there right when he hit the line of scrimmage and went down. Usually Corey Dillon does a good job of keeping those feet moving. His legs were taken right out from under him.
And Cincinnati turns it over on downs. Pittsburgh with excellent field position.
Boy, and how great has this team defense been? Watch the left side of their line get penetration. You see the Bengals offensive line going back. That's a big key in short yardage. And there's Dillon. He's down right here. There's the first down marker. Clearly short.
Bill Cowher will take it. Now the officials move toward the Cincinnati sideline. Jeff Triplett having a conversation with Coach LeBeau.
Cincinnati has challenged the ruling on the field, the forward progress spot on the previous play.
And what do you have to lose, Gus, if you're the Bengals? And let's watch where Corey Dillon's knee was down, Gus. I thought initially he actually landed on top of a Steeler and rolled forward. Let's see. Now he's rolling right there. Now he's still on top of a Steeler, and you see how he goes forward. That's where the ball should be marked, and they marked it initially when he was on top of a Steeler player. But his knee has to be down, Gus. And I think that... See, his knee was not down. He was on his back. His knee was down, but that ball, Gus, was another yard forward at that point. That first angle that we had, this is great camera work right here. He's not down right there. His legs are still moving. There's his knee, and there's the ball. It's about another yard forward. Half the yard at least, and it's close enough to mark the spot. I'm just wondering, have they already moved the chains?
His knee down right there.
At that point, but you see that ball is 1.5 yards in front of where they have it marked right now, which is on the line.
Let's take one more look, a different angle.
And we talked about him keeping his legs churning all the time. That's exactly what he was doing. He was just on top of a Steeler defender right there. His knee is not down. There's the ball. There's the knee right there, just getting ready to hit. Look where the ball is, Gus. Look where the ball is. There's the stripe. That's where they have the ball right now. And there's the first down stick, Gus, right there. That's a first down. This is going to be overruled. And that's a heck of a challenge.
Smart play by Coach LeBeau.
And there he is. You see that knee is not down till right there. And the spot is definitely something that can be challenged, and that's just one of those cases where there's so many bodies flying around
Hard to
inside.
see,
yeah, the officials see him go down, and they come in and mark the ball. That's a tough one. And that's a time when replay can really help you out, and that's why, you know, we've talked about it all year. We like replay, our crew, and I think it's just something that needs to be a part of the game. Of course, they can make it more efficient. There's that right knee, Gus, and that right knee actually might have hit just a little bit before that left knee.
But it still is a first down.
That ball was still definitely going forward. You see him carrying that ball. There's the ball right there, and even if that right knee hits.
After reviewing the play, the runner was hit, landed on a Pittsburgh player, rolled off, but the side of his butt hit the ground with his ball in the chest before he extended forward. Therefore, he is down by contact at that spot. The ball was short of the line to gain. So the ruling on the field stands. Cincinnati is charged a timeout. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
All right.
Well, I didn't necessarily see his backside hit.
Maybe we didn't see something. Let's take another look. Here we go. He said his backside hit.
Okay, now he's still on top of the Steeler player right there, and
right there
it hits. Right there it hit, but that ball clearly was much further than it's being marked right now, and I can't say exactly where. But it's not the line, that's for sure. Now, wait, at least there, but the ball was still there.
But he said the ball was in his chest.
Here. Yeah, but still, it's where that ball is when his backside hits. And, well,
you know what? I agree with the officials on this one.
You do?
I don't think he was beyond the first down marker. And the evidence wasn't conclusive as well. 1st and 10 for the Steelers at the 45. Inside handoff, Whitman with running room gets to the 41, maybe the 42. A gain of 4 on the play offensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the #1 rushing team in the league. Yandy Faneca, Hardings, Ross, and Marvell Smith. Chris Fuamatama-Afala replacing the injured Jerome Bettis with a 100-yard game last week versus Detroit. Whitman, Burris, and Ward, very good young wide receivers. Schumann is the tight end. 2nd down and 6 at the 41. Chris Fuamatama-Afala, flag on the play. Breaks it down the sideline. Wrapped up at the 28-yard line. Nice tackle on the play by Armour, but it's a gain of 11.
And Chris Fuamatama-Afala is a load to bring down.
And it goes against Cincinnati.
Offside. Defensive left guard lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 1st down.
Dick LeBeau watches on his defense. And much improved this season. Booker, Gibson, Williams, Justin Smith, the rookie, with 7.5 sacks. The linebackers, Takeo Spikes leads the team in tackles, and he is having a Pro Bowl season. Simmons and Curtis in the secondary. They have struggled. Case Baharn and Hawkins on the corners. Hall, Armour are the safeties. 1st down and 10 at the 28. Stewart looking downfield. Fires, Burris, touchdown Pittsburgh.
We've talked about what a weapon this young man has become. Plexico Burris doing a nice job using his body, being more confident, making some big plays. And that was just a case of it looked like the Steelers were getting some too deep coverage. And for whatever reason, Juwan Armour came out of the middle of the field, and Plexico Burris saw it and just got his arm up there, and Cordell Stewart put it right on the money.
Extra point up and good. 2:43 to play here in the first. Plexico Burris, 2 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Cordell Stewart put this one on the money.
And you can see Cordell Stewart looking to the left side of the field and coming back to Plexico burst. No safety in the middle. And it's tough to play a wide receiver from outside in. You see number 33. He's supposed to be back here, and he's taken up by the tight end. That leaves Plexico burst wide open right down the pipe.
Come on, guys.
This is Dwayne Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is my favorite painting of them all.
Dwayne helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting after-school programs for kids.
Based on traditional thinking, he was considered a surrealist. Abstract thinking, yet classical form, was how the French interpreted the movement.
That looks like spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
$14-0. Pittsburgh on top of Cincinnati with 2:43 to go in the first quarter of play, and the scoring drive after the controversial call, 3 plays, 45 yards. Cordell Stewart, 3 of 4, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns already. Bushmanzada running it straight up the middle, gets to the 30 and goes backwards. A 22-yard return. He's tackled by Myron Bell. Now, Monday on CBS, it's a night of great television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, and Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. Then, don't miss The Ellen Show on a special night, followed by 48 Hours Monday on CBS.
Now, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, Gus, it puts you in a tough position being a couple touchdowns down to go back to your running game. It's going to be tough running the ball against the Steelers, and you don't really have a catch-up style of offense.
First down from the 31. Here's Dillon. Bottled up and taken down. May have lost a yard on the play.
You talked about the frustration that Corey Dillon feels, and they've got to have somebody step up and become a weapon on the offensive side of the ball, and that they have to get their passing game in tune. And they've got some talent at the wide receiver position, but they've seemed to be in disarray for the most part of this year.
Second down and 11 at the 30. Kitna underneath, incomplete. Warwick, the intended receiver.
John Kitna wanting Peter Warwick to slide a little bit more away from the linebacker coverage, and Peter Warwick just finding a hole right there in the zone. Earl Holmes was right there, kind of coming from his backside, and John Kitna was trying to get into a slide. And that's been a part of the problem this year with the Bengals passing, their communication, and everybody's still trying to learn the offense and exactly what's going on, but they haven't showed up well in the games.
Makes it 3rd and 11 at the 30. They need to go to the 41. Here's Kitna firing up top, incomplete. Chad Johnson, the intended receiver, and the Bluebirds make their presence felt as Kitna jogs to the sideline.
And I think that's the loudest we've heard the Bengal fans all day today. I think Cincinnati's probably wondering what's going on. There's more Steeler fans here, and they're a lot more vocal than their hometown fans.
So Nick Harris, averaging 40 yards per punt, stands at the 15. Troy Edwards back deep. Edwards takes a couple of steps in, now gets away from the football. It's down at the 35. A 35-yard punt. And the fans here thought it had touched a Steeler, but I don't believe it did. Now, coming January 15th on CBS, the creator of JAG brings you a new drama that dares to take you inside the Supreme Court. Joe Mantegna and James Garner star in First Monday. Don't miss the series premiere Tuesday, January 15th on CBS. A beautiful shot of Paul Brown Stadium here in downtown Cincy on a cold December day, 20 degrees at kickoff time. 1st and 10 from the 35. Stewart underneath, incomplete. Ball intended for Hines Ward, but you have to give a lot of credit to a man by the name of Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator. Entered his first year as the Steelers offensive coordinator after spending 5
previous seasons as the team's tight end coach.
And he's right there in the middle. He's got the headphones on. And right in that mix there. And he's done a great job. He got former tight end. And you know how well tight ends know offense.
Why did I mention it? 2nd and 10 at the 35. Underneath, this one skipped. Incomplete. Schumann, the intended receiver. And look where the Steelers rank offensively and defensively this year in the important category.
Yeah, and you talk about one of the important categories is right here, 3rd down conversions. They've been so impressive. And the play calling and the confidence that this team has had and able to convert those 3rd down situations has been so impressive.
And what Cordell Stewart told us is that Coach Malarkey has simplified everything and let the players play towards their strength. 3rd down and 10 at the 35. Here's Stewart again underneath. This time Edwards with the catch, turns it upfield. He will be short, however, of the 1st down. A gain of 5. So the Cincinnati defense stiffening up a bit, and they will force Pittsburgh to punt it away.
And we've got to give some credit to the Cincinnati defense, and their pass defense hasn't been phenomenal today, but that's really been the part of their team that's kept them in games. They've done a much better job rushing the passer. They've got 43 sacks on the season.
Miller sends it away, angles it toward the corner. Houshmandzadeh at the 10. He is wrapped up at the 12. A 49-yard punt. A 1.5-yard return. So for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. So the Cincinnati offense back on the field. What is this team missing?
You know,
and be honest with me.
I just think it's consistency in the passing game. They've got young wide receivers. They've got John Kitna coming in, new quarterback from Seattle. It doesn't seem like everybody's on the same page. They need an offseason together. They have to have guys committed to learning the routes, learning the offense, and communicating.
Corey Dillon receiving, bouncing off a tackle, down the sideline. Dillon turns on the afterburners and is out of bounds at the 41. A 30-yard gain for Corey Dillon.
And how amazing is Corey Dillon? Game after game, play after play, facing 8 and 9 men in the box, making it happen. Big, powerful, strong, able to make those big cuts, has great vision. Look at that. Trying to just forearm everybody out down the field, stiff arm him. He's so impressive. And you can feel his frustration, like you said here the other day. But help's coming, I think.
8 carries, 55 yards for Dillon. 1st and 10, Kitna underneath. Scott with the catch, breaks the tackle and gets inside Pittsburgh territory. A gain of 19. Brent Alexander with the tackle.
And John Kitna's been delivering the ball high. Guts, you just wonder if that finger's still bothering him a little bit. This time, Darnay Scott goes up and gets that ball right on the fingertips. Tremendous catch, tremendous concentration. Got to make those big plays.
And that takes us to the end of the 1st quarter with the score, Pittsburgh 14, Cincinnati nothing. But the Bengals are on the move. We'll return to Paul Brown Stadium right after this message.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that is awesome. Get Selsun Power.
Extra soggy, extra crispy, double squirted for extra gloppiness, double breaded for extra crunchiness. Yummy! Droopy. Lunch?
Get a 12-piece super bucket of KFC Extra Crispy for only $9.99.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Hi, I'm Alexis Christoforous, business reporter for CBS Market Watch. I'm part of a worldwide team of journalists who keep you informed. But most importantly, I'm also a CBS Market Watch member. With my membership, I get access to great benefits like timely news alerts, great money-saving offers, and powerful portfolio tracking tools. The best part? Membership is absolutely free. So sign up now to become a member of CBS Market Watch. CBS Market Watch. It's more than just news. It's news and tools you can use.
It's easy to spot your local new car dealer.
I see you have your eye on that cupcake.
Good choice. Let me tell you what that comes with.
They're the ones committed to helping out in your community.
So tell me, what's it going to take to get you into this potato sack?
New car dealers also employ over 1 million people, making them a big part of every town.
So, cowboy, let's see what this baby can do.
The National Automobile Dealers Association, part of your home team.
Monday on Dave, bring in the new year with George Clooney and Cooking with Martha Stewart.
Not with your nose.
Plus pedestrian theme songs, Monday on The Late Show.
Harm's ex-girlfriend just turned up dead, and all the clues point to him.
You have an alibi?
I know you don't have one, Commander.
Trisha Yearwood guests an unforgettable Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Welcome back. Happy New Year. The Steelers lead the Bengals 14-0. However, Cincinnati has the ball at the Pittsburgh 39. Here's a handoff. Brandon Bennett breaking it out, and he is taken down. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. Excuse me, I'm getting wrapped up here with my telex, and Brent, ball security is supposed to be important.
It is very important, especially when the weather's cold, Gus. That ball doesn't compress as much, gets slippery. We've seen John Kitna throw the ball high a few times. You got to hang on, especially when you're carrying the ball. We saw a fumble on the opening kickoff, and if you don't hang on to it, have good ball security, you lose it. Here, try to get it out. Boom! Little stiff arm, little Corey Dillon on you. Get out of the shot.
Here's Kitna underneath. It's caught at the 30. A gain of 10 yards on the play for Peter Warwick.
You thought you were going to strip the ball from me.
I thought I was. You're still pretty strong to be an old guy.
Yeah, I am old.
Mike Jones taking the ball away from T.J. Ushmansada on the opening kickoff.
You'll see that ball going through some receivers' fingers and quarterbacks throwing high. It's tough to grip that cold weather. And the other thing is the kicker. That ball doesn't compress, like you said. You're not able to kick the ball as far.
Third down 1. Kitna sprints out, delivers, caught. Out of bounds, Warwick with the first down.
That's what you do on 3rd and 1. You roll that pocket out, give the quarterback some options. The run-pass option. And you're going to see the Bengals move the line, give your quarterback more protection, give him a chance to see the field. There's Peter Warwick wide open. Get the ball to him right now. Get the first down. You know, the Bengals have been very aggressive in their play calling thus far. Been awful close. You know, got down to the half-yard line the one time.
From the 25, inside handoff. It's Dillon. Stopped by Holmes.
And John Kitna told us they were going to take some shots downfield. And, you know, you hear that every time we interview players every week. All the quarterbacks say, hey, we're going to take shots downfield. And then you do the games, and they don't take any.
Right.
And you say, geez, that was some great shots. But they clearly have taken some shots downfield. And I think that the Bengals probably feel like, hey, if we're going to compete with one of the best teams in the league, we're going to have to be very aggressive in the way that we call plays.
Second down 9 at the 24. Here's Kitna, play action fake, lifts down the field, throws a strike. Scott with the catch at the 9. And Gilden makes the tackle. It's a gain of 15.
Watch what play action does. You get play action, you get the linebacker stepping up, the safety, a little hole in there, and Scott on Scott, and Darnay Scott coming back to the ball, finding that hole in the zone. John Kitna delivering it right on the numbers, even though he takes a huge shot from Kendrell Bell, who I'm sure we'll be talking more about next this day.
Scott has 5 catches for 92 yards. Dillon on the pitch, still running. Dillon written out of bounds. Brent Alexander gets him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. He loses a half yard on the play.
And I think one of the unsung parts about this Steelers defense is their secondary. And Brent Alexander's done a great job of getting those guys in the right position and kind of being the captain of that defense back there and making sure guys are doing a good job. Outstanding cover corner for the Steelers. And, of course, Lee Flowers, he'll drop a big shot on you. So you always talk about the linebackers and the guys up front, but this secondary's been doing it just as well for the Steelers.
Second and goal at the 10. 3-receiver package for the Bengals. Getting a hit as he throws incomplete. Intended for Warwick, but in causing all kinds of problems, Earl Holmes, the sixth-year man out of Florida A&M.
And it seems like when you're playing the Steelers, it's somebody different applying pressure every play. And this time it's Earl Holmes coming right up the A-gap. Junior Seau, famous for that move, right over the center. And Earl Holmes, unblocked, takes a big shot on John Kitna.
And you have to tip your hat to Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator on this Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, he has
done a good job on fire the last few years. Third down goal up to 10. Kitna again in the end zone. Broken up at the last moment. Brent Alexander getting in on the play. Also Mike Logan. Almost intercepted. And the Bengals will attempt another field goal.
And I actually think tight end Kirk McMullen takes the ball away from Brent Alexander, who had his hands on it. And you see McMullen just ripped right through there, right through his left arm. Otherwise, Alexander had a big interception.
So Neil Rackers, who missed a 32-yarder in the first quarter, into attempt a 28-yarder.
And Gus, that turf down there between those hash marks is very sandy, not very good solid footing down there.
He missed it again.
And it's tough to be a kicker in the National Football League, but especially when you don't have good sod down there to plan on. And Neil Rackers has been having his trouble just hooking it right there to the left.
There's a lot in your soul. Says you're one of a kind. And never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
Through all those long years, you knew this day would come.
Entertainment Weekly calls The Lord of the Rings a great and triumphant picture. Newsweek raves it has real passion, real emotion, real terror. Nominated for 4 Golden Globes, including Best Director and Best Picture of the Year. See the movie CNN calls a spectacular holiday gift for the whole world. The Lord of the Rings, directed by Peter Jackson, rated PG-13, now playing in theaters worldwide. Every freedom we have.
You want to fight crime so badly you're willing to throw out the Bill of Rights?
Every law we obey.
The offense was a triple murder.
Every hope we share.
Precedent can be overturned if it's wrong.
Or reaffirmed if it's right.
Is in their hands.
Let's go back history.
Now, the creator of JAG takes you inside the highest court in the land.
All stand for the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Joe Mantegna, James Garner. First Monday, premieres CBS January 15th.
For Max Bickford, teaching is a labor of love.
You know, I like seeing you fired up like this.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
It's the rest of his life
You haven't bought new clothes since the 90s.
that could use some help. Next Sunday,
Professor Bickford?
Max is starting a new chapter in his life.
Do you want to go out with me?
Max Bickford, CBS next Sunday.
Neil Rackers getting some support from Oliver Gibson, one of his teammates, telling him to keep his head up. He's missed 2 chip shots today. And Pittsburgh takes over at their own 20. Here's Full over the 20 up to the 25. So Neil Rackers, sometimes being the kicker is the loneliest place in the stadium. And on the other sideline, Chris Brown knows about it because earlier this year versus Baltimore, November 4th, he missed 4 field goals in a game. If not, the Steelers would have won a lot of games in a row. 2nd down and 4 at the 26. Here's Follow once again to the 34. 10-13 to go in the second quarter of play. Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati 14-0. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones will win today for the Steelers, and they clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. And Plexico Burress has scored 2 touchdowns today, receiving from Cordell Stewart. And the Steelers now have it at their own 33, 1st and 10. And he tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, stopped by Artrell Hawkins.
And Artrell Hawkins is going to get up in here and have to stick in his nose to tackle this big tailback. Man, that's got to feel bad. You need to see Hawkins do a nice job of wrapping up, getting his hands in there. Form tackle, Gus. That's how you got to take on these big men with the big legs.
Afala getting the start of plays with Bettis, who is out with the groin injury. 2nd and 10 at the 33. Stewart firing, caught at the 40. Plexico Burress going down. Casefaharn with the tackle. And
I guess we talked about Fomatu Malfala coming in and being a guy that's making an impact, and he said he's learned so much from watching Jerome Bettis. And he said the first couple weeks that he's in there, he's rushing to the hole. He wasn't allowing his offensive line to let their blocks develop. And there's Big Jerome on the sideline once again resting that groin. And I know that he's going to want to be back and get a few snaps next week prior to the week off, prior to the playoffs.
3rd down and 3 at the 40. Stewart looking underneath, caught by Shaw with the catch, hops forward, and he gets up to the 48. Gain of 13. Once again, let's go to New York. Here's Jim Nance.
Once again, no one has been stopped at St. Louis. 2-play drive measuring over 70 yards. Warner hooked up both plays to hold the second one, 21-yard touchdown in his 21-14, 5:30 to play the first half. Let's go back to you.
Well, I'm sure we'll have 7 or 8 more updates from Jim from St. Louis before the day's over.
No question.
Not a whole lot of defense showing up there.
1st down and 10 for the Steelers at the 47. Stewart firing. Burress with the crossbones left field, gets the 1st down. And Burress stopped at the 33-yard line. Armour with the tackle, but it's a gain of 15 yards.
Watch Plexico Burress, his precision route running has been so much better this year. You see him stop right on a dime, be able to make a move, catch the ball, and elude defenders on the inside, get back out to the outside. His confidence has just been so much different this year as opposed to last. He's using that big body. Look at that average, 23 yards a catch. That is making some things happen.
1st down and 10 at the 32. Uamatamafala ridden down at the 35. Nice pursuit by Oliver Gibson.
And we've talked about the difference between this year's Plexico Burress and last year's Plexico Burress. Hey, it's tough being a young wide receiver in this league, but when you start getting confidence and when you start feeling being able to run precision routes, look at the difference between his first 18 games and his last 8 games. Numbers are almost the same other than the touchdowns, and he's got a couple more to add to that today, and now he has 6. But this is a confident young receiver, 6'5", using his body well, precision, running hard, and he blocks so great downfield as well.
2nd down, 14 at the 36. Underneath, this one is caught by the fullback, John Whitman, over the middle, gets inside the 25, a gain of 12.
And I think one of the great things, you see John Whitman catching the ball, one of the great things about the Steeler offense is that their role players have stepped up the whole time this year. We just saw Whitman. How about Troy Edwards on 3rd down, a couple of big 3rd down catches last week. How about Bobby Shaw and what might be the play of the season, 3rd and 7 against the Ravens, 90-yard touchdown. The guys have done their jobs in the role-playing position.
3rd down 2 at the 24. Stewart out of the gun. He's going to run it. The shovel pass. Barely able to hang on with it. And he will not get the 1st down.
And the good news about that on the shovel pass is, if you drop it and it hits the ground, it's not a fumble. It's just an incomplete pass. There you go. And the one thing that we haven't seen today is Cordell Stewart running the ball yet. That's what I'm anxious to see. He's been making such an impact. You see this? He's starting to right there, and there's the pass. And we were talking about Fomatu Malafala just starting to have more patience these last few games, letting his blocks develop. And here comes Chris Brown. Now he's going to try his footing out there. He fell 3 times in warm-ups right from that left hash position that he's at right now.
Into attempt at 43-yarder, and the snap bobble. Picked up by the Bengals. The lateral. Simmons. Running toward the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
And Gus, we talked about the cold ball and how it is slippery. It doesn't compact. And Josh Miller not getting a whole lot of chances to handle that ball. It slips right through his hand. Perfect snap. And watch this heads-up play by Bean. And there goes Simmons. That's what you need to do. You have to have your head in the game. And Robert Bean made a huge lateral right there. That's having your head into the game.
Extra point, up and good. A 66-yard fumble recovery. Bean picks it up, laterals it to Brian Simmons, and Dick LeBeau, and the Bengals finally get on the board.
This is Will Burns. You've reached my cell phone. Leave me a message, and I'll call you back.
Will, it's Gail. I can't believe you're not answering your phone. Look, get back here. The client changed their minds. They actually like the work. All we have to do is show the plans to one more group and the job is ours. Call me before it's too late.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages. But with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through.
In 1935, Foxwood Farms started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses. But there's still only 1 truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
NFL.com, your source for game day coverage.
This is a big game. We got to take it one play at a time. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Up-to-the-minute live stats. Live radio coverage.
Whitley won't go down. Whitley!
And post-game features.
Hey, listen, great job, fellas. Excellent job.
On Sundays, watch your game and follow the rest of the action on NFL.com.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done. Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Welcome back. Cincinnati getting on the scoreboard. 14-7 is the score. Cracker sends it away. A line drive. Fielded at the 15 by Lenty Jackson. Jackson straight ahead over the 40 to the 41. A 23-yard return.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Eye exam, glasses, and case, $130. 20/20 vision, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For eye care, there's MasterCard.
Rolaids announces unbeatable taste. 5 great ways to spell fast relief. And now taste tests show even Tums can't beat Rolaids. In mint or fruit flavors, what a great tasting way to spell relief. Rolaids.
The NFL means more than just football. It means a helping hand for me and my friends. It means caring for others, improving our schools, and rebuilding our neighborhoods. In fact, I think that some of the best plays in the NFL are happening off the field. Because in the NFL, you don't score by knocking people down, but by picking people up. The NFL, a tradition of service.
Access NFL.com now and America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
From across the nation, young people gather to share their one shining moment, the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS Sports.
Brian Simmons returns the fumble 56 yards after it was tossed back by Robert Bean. And the Bengals on the board, trailing 14-7. Pittsburgh takes over 14-10 at the 41. Mafala with a huge opening. And Chris Mafala picks up 12 yards. And I tell you what, number 45, Brent, he is a bad Malafala.
Just shut your mouth.
Oh, I'm just talking about Chris.
I can dig it.
Last week versus Detroit, 126 yards rushing. And as of right now, he's having a really good day as well. 8 carries, 38 yards. Play action, Stewart setting up in the pocket to the sideline, underthrows the intended receiver, Hines Ward.
And I'm just wondering if they weren't holding Hines Ward. Now I see a flag in the secondary.
Illegal contact, 33 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Juwan Armour.
And you know, you got that 5-yard chuck zone, and after that, you can't go ahead and get your hands. And here's Armour, and here's Burris. And there's the line of scrimmage, so he's got to about right here. And watch Plexico Burris when he tries making his move, and he gets knocked right off it. It's about 7 yards deep, 8 yards deep.
So first down for the Steelers at the 43. Mafala running outside, not a lot of room. This time Brian Simmons collaring him and taking him down at the 45. I didn't know you were a John Shaft fan.
Yeah, you didn't think I could hang with that, huh?
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah. I didn't just play football. But it was fun talking to Chris yesterday and just seeing some of the things that he's learned from Jerome. And he's got great footwork, just like a bus himself. And his patience has really been the key. But to have that great footwork for such a big man is just very impressive.
So would you call him a minivan?
Sure.
Second down and 12 from the 45. Mafala again. Again, nowhere to go. This time to Curtis, dragging him down from behind.
And we've seen Canute Curtis get some penetration a couple times today in the linebacker spot and getting in there and causing some havoc. And it's just unbelievable, Gus, that this was going to be a 17-point game here a couple of minutes ago. As you see Canute Curtis get penetration into the backfield, and when you get to full Mafala before he gets his legs churning, that's the time to get him, because once he gets that full steam ahead, it's tough bringing him down.
Third down, 13 at the 46. They're 1 of 4 on third down conversions. And the Steelers need to go to the Cincinnati 34. Here's Stewart underneath, caught by Edward. First down, he's still running. And finally, wrapped up at the 27, a 20-yard gain. Case Faharn with the tackle.
And I think Troy Edwards is going to run a deep cross here, and watch the role players. Troy Edwards coming across right here, number 81. Cordell Stewart waiting in the pocket, patience, great time given to him by his offensive line. Come across, make the big catch.
And we will come back to Cincinnati right after this.
Our special is today lamb chestnut and samosa.
How about a brisket?
One of the great dishes we serve in the fall is a roasted squab with fall vegetables, and it's just great this time of year.
The special today is pizza.
We have a hanger steak, we have a grilled salmon, a grilled tuna. We have apple pie.
Very, very low fat.
The comedian.
Ever wonder how the race car driver gets to the race car? Seville STS.
Yes, Thursday. You're not going to believe what one elephant does to disrupt the survivor camp. Oh, my God. A humanitarian mission will touch your heart. Oh. And you've seen tough competition before. Now get ready for the Super Immunity Challenge. If you make it past this round,
You're in the final four.
2 episodes to go.
Started with 16, now we're down to 5.
All new Survivor Africa, CBS Thursday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBS, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Rolaids. Rolaids. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relieve.
First down and 10 at the 26. 14-7, the Steelers lead the Bengals. Pittsburgh driving once again. Plexico Burr splits to the top of your screen. Ward at the bottom. Stewart to the sideline, incomplete. Thrown a little bit high for Hines Ward in front of Artrell Hawkins. Coming up on the next halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights, plus a report from the Oakland-Denver game.
Those guys still have their holiday outfits on, I see.
I see.
Very impressive.
Second down 10 at the 26. Steelers need to go to the 16 for first down. And they bunch up the right side. Here comes the blitz. Picked up. Stewart dumps it. Fala slipping. And he goes down at the 20. A 6-yard pickup.
And if Chris Fala doesn't slip, he might go all the way. Had a couple of his big offensive linemen in front of him. Watch him get the ball and watch the angle outside here once he gets it. Perfect call against the blitz. Fala catches the ball. Here he is right here. Watch out here. He slips just going inside. But there's nobody out here, which is where he would have been. 2 blockers on 1 downfield. That could have been a touchdown.
Third down 4 at the 20. They need to go to the 16 for a first down. Cordell Stewart out of the shotgun. Stewart firing to the sideline. Incomplete. Edwards, the intended receiver, ball thrown high.
Troy Edwards certainly made an effort for that. He got up awful high, higher than I thought he could go. And we talked about that cold weather and the ball maybe just sliding out of Cordell's hands just a little bit. And now here comes Chris Brown. And, you know, field goal today, Gus, they've been a crapshoot.
Chris Brown has missed a field goal in 5 straight games. Botched snap on his last attempt by Josh Miller.
Gus, this is exactly where he fell down 3 times in pregame warmups on that left snap.
For 38 yards. Gets it up, and it is good. Just good. 38-yard field goal for Brown, and with a minute to go, Pittsburgh adds to their lead 17-7.
Don't feel like stopping? Neither does your Pontiac dealer. Because now through January 2nd, get 0% APR financing on all new Pontiac models. Plus $500 holiday bonus on select models. Interest-free financing. Plus $500 holiday bonus on Grand Am, Grand Prix, Montana, and Sunfire. Hurry, because you've only got until January 2nd. Keep America rolling. See your local Pontiac dealer today.
Look at this workmanship. Could make a lot of lira selling these in New York.
Now look at these prices.
These guys don't know what they got. They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, senora.
What's it say? They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey. New Jersey?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
You are about to journey into a world defined by achievement and bathed in glory. It is here that the world's greatest athletes will become a part of a tradition unlike any other at the Masters. It is where young people from across the nation will gather to share their one shining moment at the NCAA Basketball Championship. On these fields, college football legends will be made, and glory will be captured at the PGA Championship. It is here that endurance and determination are the keys to surviving the world's toughest tennis at the U.S. Open, and victory will be claimed as theirs on the PGA Tour. It is a place where the men of the NFL, possessed with the gifts of speed and strength, search for their piece of immortality. This is the world of CBS Sports.
Coming up on the next halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights, plus a report from the Oakland-Denver game. From the 10-yard line, it's Rudy Johnson. Johnson over the 30, up to the 35, a 25-yard return. Saturday, CBS Sports goes wall-to-wall with the women's triple header. First, Penn State takes on Vanderbilt. Then Michigan State plays host to Georgia. Then in the nightcap, the two biggest names in women's hoops collide when number 1 UConn tangles with number 2, the Lady Vols of Tennessee, both undefeated, all Saturday here on CBS. A panoramic view of Paul Brown Stadium here in downtown Cincinnati, one of the more modern stadiums in the National Football League. Beautiful facility. First and 10 at the 35 for John Kitna. Looking, Kitna throws, and it's incomplete. And the Steelers wanted intentional grounding.
And you see John Kitna talking to Corey Dillon, and he was thinking it's a screen pass. And you can just see by the way he drops back and looks downfield and then starts and waits for his back to release. Right there, you see. And Corey didn't release. He went to hitch and throw it to him, and John Kitna lucky didn't get an intentional grounding at all.
Second and 10 at the 35. Tennessee leading Cleveland at home today. Kansas City and Jacksonville.
We got Larry!
Kitna to the sideline. Caught. Out of bounds. Ushmanzada with a nice reception. A gain of 11.
And John Kitna talked about Ushmanzada the week he had in practice, that he made some of the most phenomenal catches and ran some of the greatest routes that he's seen all year. And maybe just trying to get him involved here in this 2-minute drill. Still got a couple timeouts left, 41 seconds, Gus. And it's not a bad thing to use the middle of the field and burn a timeout. If you get a deep over route, 15, 20 yards, find that soft spot in the zone with the receivers and maybe get into field goal range.
Ushmanzada, 7th-round pick out of Oregon State. A rookie, first and 10 at their own 46. Kitna underneath, incomplete. Warwick, the intended receiver, at the 40. Kitna throwing that ball in traffic.
I guess you see Chad Johnson there as well with Warwick. You don't want two receivers in the same spot, and that goes back to the communication that we talked about. You can't have receivers, two receivers, because you bring more defensive players into the play.
You know, the final moments of last week's game versus the Ravens, Bengals rookie receiver Chad Johnson dropped his second pass of the game that could have gone a long way, and he heard about it from quarterback John Kitna while heading to the sideline. Kitna again over the middle, caught. Ushmanzada needs to get out of bounds. It does at the 34.
I like that. Ushmanzada directing traffic downfield.
A 20-yard pickup. And one thing Coach LeBeau told us was he likes to see his guys arguing on the field because it does show that they care.
And you see Ushmanzada pointing down the field, and he's caring right now about making something happen on the field. And that's very impressive. You see Chad Johnson downfield getting a block,
two rookie wide receivers from Oregon State.
1st and 10 at the 34. 28 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Kitna, quick fire. Warren high-steps it out of bounds at the 31. In front of Chad Scott.
And you've seen the Bengals do a nice job, Gus, of using the sidelines thus far on those underneath routes. Still 23 seconds. Why don't you take a crack down the middle? There's still some time over the middle of the field. Kitna's had some time to throw the ball.
Remember, Neil Rackers has struggled. He's missed a 28-yarder and a 32-yarder. Came into the game 12 of 21. Bengals with 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd and 7 at the 31. Kitna rolling, throwing on the run, out of bounds. And a flag on the play. Flags all over the field.
I think they're going to call holding against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if they're going to call intentional grounding, they got to make sure that John Kitna wasn't out of that pocket. And that's what they're calling. And I wouldn't be. I thought he was actually out of the pocket, Gus, before he threw that ball. And maybe they're actually going to call illegal man downfield.
Illegally downfield on a forward pass. Number 74, the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Rich Brown.
And you know what that says to me, Gus? That says to me that was going to be a screen pass, and John Kitna had to tuck it and roll back outside. He threw the ball away, and Rich Brown was down the field trying to get a block.
So it makes it 3rd down and 7 at the 31. They need to go to the 24 for 1st down. Getting up, setting up in the pocket, fires to the sideline. And it's a catch. Nicely done by Chad Johnson.
And what a throw by
18-yard gain.
What a throw, Gus, by John Kitna all the way back across the field on the out route. And you see Johnson just waiting for the ball, keeping his feet in, great concentration, knowing that a defender's coming to whack you. And that is a tough throw to make in the National Football League.
Johnson keeping both feet in bounds, no doubt about it. Now Kitna calls a timeout. And it was Kitna and Johnson arguing last week in Baltimore. They're on the same page, however, today.
Every freedom we have.
You want to fight crime so badly you're willing to throw out the Bill of Rights?
Every law we obey.
The offense was a triple murder.
Every hope we share.
Precedent can be overturned if it's wrong or reaffirmed if it's right.
Is in their hands.
Let's go make history.
Now, the creator of JAG takes you inside the highest court in the land.
All stand for the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Joe Mantegna, James Garner. First Monday premieres CBS January 15th.
1 timeout remaining for the Bengals. Driving, trying to close the gap. Down 17-7.
And guess with 9 seconds, you can take one crack at the end zone, and the best way to do that is throw a fade route so the quarterback only takes a couple-step drop. You don't want to take a 5 or a 7 and allow yourself to get sacked or run around back there and burn all 9 seconds. They still have a timeout left.
Rackers warms up on the sideline. He'd like to redeem himself. 1st down at the 17. Kitna in trouble, fires into the end zone. Out of bounds. And the Bengals will try it once again.
You know, I know the fans are booing, but they shouldn't be booing. They got the ball and made a nice 2-minute drive, 53 seconds left, and got into field goal range. And maybe they're booing Neil Rackers, but that was actually a nice 2-minute drive put together by the Cincinnati Bengal offense.
We've missed a 28-yarder and a 32-yarder. This one from 34 yards out. It's up. And good. The Bengals head into the locker room. Rackers with the 34-yarder, and at the end of the first half of play, Pittsburgh leads Cincinnati by 7.
And that's just an amazing thing for this Bengals team to be within 7 at halftime. completely outplayed the first half, but have been able to keep it close. Big turnover, and then the field goal there by Neil Rackers.
Coming up, it's the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
In the Supreme Court, every case they hear.
If you want to fight crime so
Well, the Bengals feisty here, down 7 at halftime. Plexico Burress, the recipient of 2 touchdowns from Stewart, both in the first quarter.
And no short passes. Watch this thing. Woo! Go get it. Run, twist.
Get your giddy up.
About a 42-yard touchdown. I know Mike likes that dinky do. But watch this. The slim post. Go down the hash mark. 28 yards. Put it on a number. Oh, I love that kind of football.
How could a quarterback miss a power forward?
Look at this. Bad snap. Josh Miller fumbles, gives it. Robert B. picks it up. He flips it to Brian Simmons. Brian Simmons goes to the whip. Go to the whip. You can't win this in the hand right. Touchdown.
Didn't you and Mike talk about that field goal team, Kaufman, Pittsburgh later on down the road?
You were listening.
Yeah. I was watching the coach's corner. Cleveland leads at Tennessee. Final half minute of the first half. Look at these numbers by the quarterbacks. Couch had thrown 2. McNair was good on his first 9 attempts.
Pittsburgh leads by 7 at halftime. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
Happy holidays.
From all of us
at CBS.
Stay connected only on
Pittsburgh by 7 here at halftime. Hi, everybody. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, and the Cincinnati Bengals made some mistakes in that first half of play, but they should be comfortable with being behind by only 7 points.
And the mistakes were really Neil Rackers missing some field goals after a couple of big, long drives.
That allowed Plexico Burress to come in and put the hurt on the defensive secondary. You see right here, turning inside, making something happen. Then coming back, safety out of the middle, covering the tight end. Plexico on a skinny post. Cordell doing a nice job of stepping up and putting the ball in the number.
Plexico Burress, tremendous first half, 4 catches, 92 yards. And Pittsburgh will have the ball to begin the second half of play. Neil Rackers missed a 28-yarder, and the 32-yarder finally connected with a 34-yarder, and that the middle of the field is really chopped up, hard for anybody to plant and kick. Here come the Steelers. Lindsey Jackson gets it to the 35, a 17-yard return. So a look at the statistics from the first half of play, and Cincinnati, surprisingly, with 220 total yards in that first half.
And actually, pretty even statistics across the board. And we said Neil Rackers missed a couple of field goals, but the key to this whole first half was Josh Miller dropping the snap. The Steelers had a chance to go up 17-0. Obviously, the snap right through his hands, and the lateral to Brian Simmons for a touchdown for the Bengals brought him right back into this game.
Cordell Stewart takes over at his own 35. Stewart on the play fake, looking underneath. It is caught behind Ward. And now they rule it an incomplete pass. And the numbers for Cordell in that first half of play. Cordell Stewart and John Kitna. Stewart 11 of 16, 177. Kitna 12 of 24, 170. 2 touchdowns, however, for Cordell. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Having problems keeping his footing, and he slides down, gets up, and advances the ball to the 39. Corey Hall with the tackle.
And I was on the field, Gus, before the game, and it looked like a bad golf course that I'd taken too many divots out of down there, and it's replaced by sand, and it's just tough. The cold weather combined with the sand and some torn up turf. I've seen Fuamatu Malafala slip down a couple times on some potential big plays, and of course the field goal kicker's having trouble planting down there, and just tough going.
3rd down and 6 at the 39. Here's Cordell Stewart. Over the middle, incomplete. Threw that one at the feet of Bobby Shaw. And the Steelers are forced to punt it away.
And if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, that's what you want to do. Come in and get them a 3 and out, and then maybe put together another big drive and tie this baby up in a game that you should not even be in at this point.
Third punt of the day for Josh Miller. Snap. Miller, the left-footed punter, sends away a wobbly kick. Menzata allows it to go out of bounds. And let's see where the official marks the ball. Marks it at the 19. A 42-yard punt. So John Kitna and the Bengals take over with the ball at their own 19-yard line.
Burger King introduces the new Hickory Bacon Cheddar Burger. Flame broiled beef, topped with smoked cheddar cheese, 3 strips of sizzling bacon, onions, and creamy barbecue sauce. Get a single for 99 cents, a double for $1.49, a triple $1.99. The new Hickory Bacon Cheddar Burger. Have it your way, only at Burger King. Now for a limited time.
Own the DVD that fires on all cylinders. They run on adrenaline.
Nothing more addictive than speed.
They run on the streets.
Nothing in the world.
They are the Fast and the Furious.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
With so much heart-pounding action, you need to watch it again and again. This DVD is turbocharged with over 6 hours of the hottest entertainment.
By an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
The Fast and the Furious. Own it on DVD January 2nd.
Now, exclusively from the NFL Shop, you can customize your very own official NFL replica jersey. Pick a team, choose a number, use your name or your favorite player. It's up to you. NFL Shop will make one in any style you want, just $64.99. So call now and order for yourself or a friend. Get the gear, get in the game, exclusively from NFL Shop. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP now or visit us at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
And 2001 with some fun in the sun. Purdue battles Jason Gesser and Washington State in the Wells Fargo Sun Bowl. It'll be a scorcher tomorrow on CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Bengals down by 7 with the ball at their own 19-yard line. Kitna looking underneath all day to throw. Fires a strike at 25. And the reception made by Darnay Scott. A gain of 6.
And you just mentioned John Kitna having all day to throw. And early in the game, more blitzes from the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and more pressure on John Kitna. But he's been able to stand back there, set his feet, and look downfield. And we've got to talk about one of the positive things. You see Coach LeBeau saying, hey, let's get this thing going. We can make this thing happen. But one of the big positives for the Cincinnati offense has been their offensive line and protecting the quarterback this year.
Here's Kitna, finds Corey Dillon, who breaks a couple of tackles. Dillon gets to the 30, then the 33-yard line. Dwayne Washington with the stop after a gain of 7 and a first down.
And if you're going to try to take Corey Dillon up high, you're not going to have a whole lot of success unless there's 3 or 4 of you. So big and strong. He's got those big guns. You see bulging out of his uniform right there. He is a tough, fast, hard-nosed runner.
First down and 10 at the 32. Kitna on the play fake, looking down the field for Scott. He's beating his man. It is incomplete. Chad Scott.
And Chad Scott coming over from the other corner position. Steelers had a blitz on, no safety. Dwayne Washington, this is the 3rd time today he's been beaten to the post. You see that ball just drifts across the field. And Chad Scott came over and broke up the play from the other corner spot. That's a rare sight in the National Football League, having the offside corner come over and be involved in the play to the post.
Chad Scott, who has 5 interceptions on the season. 2 returned for touchdowns. 2nd down and 10. Here's the hitch. And it's Menzata.
We talked about the quality of play from the Steelers' corners, but when we talked to the Bengals, and John Kitna in particular, he said that he thinks that these corners of the Steelers are very aggressive, and they take a lot of chances, and they thought they could get him on some double moves. and that's an out and an up or a hook and a go, and we haven't seen it yet. They've gone directly at Washington in the post route.
And the Steelers have allowed only 13 points in the third quarter all season long. 3rd and 4 at the 38. Getting into the sideline caught. Richmond Dada once again. How do you like this receiver? 7th round pick. He's coming up pretty big today. Running back kicks, and also he's come up with some nice catches today.
And remember what John Kitna told us, had the most amazing week in practice that he's ever had for a wide receiver in his career. He said just making huge catches, running precise routes, getting downfield, and I think until today he's been a relative unknown.
4 catches, 43 yards for TJ. Corey Dillon stood up, bounces it outside, runs over one would-be tackler and gets to the 47. Chad Scott throwing himself under the chariot on that play.
And you saw
he's shaken up.
And you know what? He was shaken up before on that play that was thrown deep down the middle to Scott. I think he might have collided with Dwayne Washington coming across, and he was on the sideline for a few plays, came back in for that play, and what does he get? He gets Corey Dillon running over him.
Scott played collegiately at Maryland. Corey Dillon spinning. Dillon breaks it outside, stiff arms out of bounds inside Pittsburgh territory.
And how
gain
about,
of 10.
And how about the pirouette Corey Dillon just did right at that line of scrimmage? I think he thought somebody was going to be there to hit him in the back. Watch this little spin move. You see him spin right back out to the outside. Talk about creating some holes for yourself.
13 carries, 75 yards for Dillon. Had a 100-yard game against the Ravens last week, the first back to rush for 100 yards against Baltimore in 50 games. First 10 at the 43. To the sideline, incomplete. No flag on the play. Dwayne Washington there. That ball looked to be, though, uncatchable.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was in the... It looked like the ball was in the air when Dwayne Washington takes a shot at Darnay Scott. Darnay Scott hadn't got his head around yet. The Bengals are screaming pass interference.
Washington in his 8th season out of North Carolina State. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Here's Kitna. Underneath, caught Warwick with the grab, and he slides down at the 36. Earl Holmes bringing Peter Warwick down after a gain of 8.
And part of the successful drives in the first half that the Bengals had were converting on 3rd downs. Big 3rd down play coming up right here. They've got to Darnay Scott. Peter Warwick's done a nice job being elusive in the middle of the field to get that zone defense. Let's see if the Steelers bring that blitz.
3rd and 3. 5 of 9 on 3rd down conversions today. Kitna set, fired, it is. Oh, nice grab, Lorenzo Neal. He gets it the hard way. A gain of 10 and a first down, Cincinnati. The big fullback out of the backfield.
Actually, Lorenzo Neal splitting out wide. We're coming out of the backfield, actually running into the flat. You see that ball over the shoulder. Tough catch for a fullback. Does a nice job tipping the ball to himself, Gus. It sounded like you were getting a little cold. Getting us to set his feet there.
Yes, he did.
I think he did. It is cold out here today.
Definitely cold. Here's Kitna once again. Firing into the end zone. Incomplete. Warwick, the intended receiver. But Chad Scott right there.
And the offensive line and backs for this offensive unit of the Cincinnati Bengals have done a pretty solid job of picking up that Pittsburgh Steeler blitz.
What a long drive, though, for the Bengals. 12th play of the drive that started at their own 19.
And, you know, they've had a couple long drives that have ended today in missed field goals, and that's just so frustrating for an offensive unit. You want touchdowns, but you got to at least come away with 3 points.
Corey Dillon. Shedding tackler. Wow, this guy is good. Get to the 20. Is he the best pure running back in the National Football League?
Yes. Speed, power, strength.
Think about it. Marshall Faulk, Edgerrin James.
You think I wasn't thinking about it?
Okay.
I was thinking about it.
Jerome Bettis.
Hey, all those other guys have some weapons to run behind.
If you think about that, Corey Dillon hasn't had that. A passing game.
You know, when you have other options, it makes it easier. It creates some holes, creates some doubt on the side of the defense.
Corey Dillon has been all about Corey Dillon this whole season.
79 yards rushing, 3rd and 6. Getting up, fires to the corner, incomplete. Scott, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down. And here comes Rackers onto the field once again.
Don't be so sure.
And yes, they have sent him away. 4th down.
And you know, Gus, that would only be a 40-yard field goal. We've talked about the footing out there, but that's not a whole lot of confidence in your kicker.
I think you're probably thinking Dick LeBeau's saying, hey, I think we can get 6 yards easier than kicking a field goal at this point.
And the fans rise to their feet here at Paul Brown Stadium. Kitna out of the shotgun. Here comes the corner blitz. Kitna fires underneath, incomplete. And Warwick was open. And he had the 1st down.
Wow, and Brett had a great chance there.
Disappointed John Kitna.
It all keeps me closer to the people I love.
On CBS is sponsored by America Online version 7.0. There's never been a better time to get online. Selsun Blue Shampoo to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signal. And by the Fast and the Furious, coming soon on DVD.
Gus, let's go back to that big 4th down play. And watch the fullback against the blitz. 3 people this side. Watch Bennett go ahead and step up and make the block. And the blitz giving Kitna time. Impressive block. Wide open Peter Warwick. And you got to think Kitna's fingers are starting to bother him a little bit out there.
Fuamata Mamafala over the left side. And he picks up a couple. John Kitna on the sideline. And he came into this season after signing a 4-year contract with Cincinnati as not the clear choice for the starting quarterback job, competed with Keely Smith and also Scott Mitchell. But since he did take over and has started 80% of the games, he was awarded a $1 million bonus in his contract. 2nd down and 8 at the 24. Stewart rolling out, fires, Burris. And you've been saying something all week. When Cordell Stewart doesn't know what to do, what should he do, Brett?
Gus, if you don't know, Plexico.
And it's just the size of this young man is so impressive.
Say that once again. If you don't know, Plexico. So we've been able to say that for a while this year.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Every time he gets a touchdown that's on the highlights every week, I always get you.
You don't know Plexico. All right.
It's been nice.
And you know, you hate to say Jerome Bettis being out has really helped this team, but in their passing game, it really has. The confidence. The passing game isn't an afterthought, Gus. It's become a real part of the Steelers' arsenal.
Flags on the play on 3rd down and 3 at the 29.
Fire the snap. Oh, start.
And that's Plexico Burris. We do know it was Burris moving.
How can you say if we do know
it's Burris? You didn't want to rhyme it?
Come on.
Just getting a little bit of a head start. You know you can't do that as a wide receiver. Trying to jump the count, got to have your head on the ball. You go on the ball snap.
But we'll give him a break. He's been making some big plays all day, and we've talked about him using his body, the 6'5" frame, being much more physical, especially at the line of scrimmage, getting off bump coverage, and doing a great job of using that body to shield defenders from the ball. And what a target that guy would be if you look at it from the quarterback spot.
Here's Fuamata Mamafala, and he goes nowhere. Takeo Spikes wraps him up on 3rd down and 8.
In every Bengal game that we've done over the last 3 years, Takeo Spikes shows up, and he shows up big. And he hunts this screen down right now. He knows what's going on, even slips and slides. Look at wrap-up. When you talk about wrapping up, you see him get his arms around Fuamata Mamafala. That's the only way you can bring that big man down.
So the Steelers are forced to punt. Miller standing at the 7. Wobbly, short kick. Ushmanzada at the 41 slides down. And the Bengals will have terrific field position. 6:04 to go, third quarter of play. Following the game, log on to NFL.com and get the latest updates on the playoff picture, as well as analysis from the experts. It's all at NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. Corey Dillon runs it, loses the ball. It's picked up by the Steelers. Joey Porter has it. And that is the second turnover of the day for the Bengals.
And in all of our Cincinnati games that we've done, I don't think I've ever seen Corey Dillon put the ball on the ground. No frustration coming off the field.
Back to Cincinnati right after this.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. We know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by 1010-220. For great long-distance rates anywhere in America and around the world, dial 1010-220.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium. Steelers take over after the Corey Dillon fumble at the 47. Here's Cordell Stewart. All day to throw the football to the sideline. It is incomplete. Burris out of bounds in front of Casefaharn. Only the 10th lost fumble of the season for the Bengals.
And watch number 50, Earl Holmes, knifing through, going through the smush inside and putting his helmet right on Corey Dillon. That ball's coming out before he hits the ground. And Earl Holmes has done a phenomenal job at inside linebacker here for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. One of the few guys that his contract is up after the season. It'll be instrumental to keep him around.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Here's Cordell underneath, caught by Hines Ward. Casefaharn grabs him and rides him down at midfield. And Kevin Casefaharn, what an interesting story, number 34. He's a former Arena League player and an XFL player. And back in October, he was a substitute teacher in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Got a call and has been having an outstanding time here with the Cincinnati Bengals. Great game last week versus Baltimore.
Takeo Spice said this young man can play some ball. And their secondary's had a lot of pressure been put on him this year in the media and on the field. But they've risen to the occasion.
Stewart, quick strike, caught by Lexico Burris at the 41, and it's enough for first down in front of Casefaharn. A 5-yard gain.
And I don't know if anybody's been able to cover Plexico Burris today, just running that 5-yard square out, looking to see him snap that head back and get those shoulders around. That's so important. Casefaharn driving on. He does a nice job of driving it, but that's almost unstoppable at that point with that big wide receiver. And you see Plexico going over 100 yards today already, Gus?
First down and 10 at the 41. Fuamatama Fala lowers his shoulder and gets to the 38. Tackled on the play by Simmons and Tony Williams. Injured player on the field. And it looks like Juwan Armour. So we'll take a timeout. 4:12 to go here in the third. Pittsburgh by 7.
You see Juwan Armour getting
hit by Chris Fuamatama-Fala.
Boy, he just got drilled by Hines Ward.
Hines Ward blocking him into Maafala. And this is an incomplete pass intended for Plexico Burris coming over Chris Carter. And there's Juwan Armour on the sideline being tended to by the training staff of the Bengals. And what happened, he went up to support the run. And he got blocked right into Fuamatama-Fala.
Hines Ward is the best blocking wide receiver in the National Football League. Watch him get his head in front. Bang. There's once. Whoa. Twice by Fuamatama-Fala's helmet. Double dose of a whammy.
But on his feet on the sideline. 3rd down 6 at the 37. Stewart sprinting out, looks backside, fired, Fuamata-Ma'afala with the catch and blocker, picks up the first down, down the sideline, high stepping, touchdown Pittsburgh. And a fight on the field. Artrell Hawkins in the middle of the fray. Flags all over the field.
And it's been a frustrating 7-game losing streak for the Cincinnati Bengals team. And you see some of those frustrations coming out against a team that looks like it's going to clinch the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And all that fighting and pushing takes away from a perfectly executed play. Cordell Stewart doing a fantastic job of selling the rollout right, Gus, on what we call a throwback screen. You run it all the way to the right side of the field, throw it back across field. You have your lineman ready to go. And Fuamata-Ma'afala made a great run right down the sideline. And here's the whole gang of officials trying to decide which personal foul happened when and who started what and why.
Chris Fuamata-Ma'afala, 255 pounds, 6 feet.
And told us his mom, Lucia, doesn't like watching the game. She doesn't want him to get banged up. Doesn't want to watch him. It's such a tough sport, so he calls her after the game to tell her that everything's okay. I think he's going to have something nice to report to his mom today.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. After the touchdown, personal foul, 99 defense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 72 on the offense. By rule, those penalties offset. The touchdown is good.
So Wayne Gandy and Oliver Gibson going at it in the end zone. A 37-yard touchdown reception for Chris Fuamata-Ma'afala. Pittsburgh takes a 23-10 lead.
All right, Butcher.
Chris Brown will step in to attempt the extra point, and that was the 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Cordell Stewart. Had 3 last week versus Detroit. And the extra point is up. No good. Bad snap. And Miller couldn't get it down. So let's go back to the touchdown. Fuamata-Ma'afala showing the speed down the sideline, Brent.
And Gus, watch Cordell Stewart tuck the ball right here. You're even thinking run. Great job of selling the throwback screen. Throw it all the way back across field. Perfect throw. And here comes the offensive line. Watch Faneca, watch Smith, watch the guys go ahead and create this lane. And here comes Chris Fuamata-Ma'afala. Big blocks downfield. Jeff Hartines as well. There's Plexico Burris making a huge block. And that was the block that got him right into the end zone. And we've talked about this team and all the role players. How about Fuamata-Ma'afala? And the Steelers have rushed for an average of 169 yards a game without Jerome Bettis.
Fuamata-Ma'afala, a 7th-round draft pick out of Utah. He told us yesterday, as you take a look at the extra point, and Ma'afala told us yesterday that he came out of Utah and should have been a 2nd or even a 1st-round pick, but he had a bad ankle injury his entire senior season and wasn't able to play up to his standards, and coaches became afraid of him. And having an opportunity, though, to come and play with Pittsburgh and kind of work under Jerome Bettis and learn how to be patient, very similar running backs. Tell you what, it's really benefited him and also this entire Pittsburgh team.
We've talked about the role players and the guys that have stepped up, and this team just seems so mature. And it's not just the defense we're talking about. And it's so impressive to see the offensive guys stepping up and really having a maturity level to make these plays happen, and to be disciplined and to do the things that they've been doing all year.
So from the 10-yard line, With Manzata straight ahead, puts the ball on the field once again, and let's see. Let's see, does Pittsburgh have it?
Be a miracle if the Bengals came up with it, Gus. There was a sea of white jerseys in there.
And the Bengals hold on.
That's what Dick LeBeau's saying. Hey, we have got to hang on to the ball. We are in this game until we put the ball on the ground. And Manzata, you see right here, impressive play going down. And you see the sea of white jerseys. How did the Bengals come up with that? And I think it was R.J. Bowers that stripped the ball. There's 6 or 7 Steelers and 1 Bengal.
And as you mentioned earlier during this game, ball protection, ball security, very important when you're playing in cold weather.
Yeah, that ball just swells up and you can't get a grip on it. It's just so darn hard. And the surface becomes a little slippery. And we talked about it at the top of the show, and we've seen that ball all over the place today.
First down and 10 for the Bengals as they hold on at their own 36. Corey Dillon, the lone setback. Carney Scott goes in motion. Here's the handoff to Dillon. Dillon shot down at the 40. Lee Flowers in on the play. Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams star in the action-packed thriller Eraser, tonight on CBS. .305 to go here in the third quarter of play. Pittsburgh with a 23-10 lead. 2nd and 6 from the 40. Play action. Kitna looking downfield. Hit as he throws. It's intercepted. I believe Gilden laterals it to Scott. Scott down his sideline. Swung out of bounds at the 20.
And I think, Gus, they're going to call Gilden's knee down before he lateraled it. But what a great play by Jason Gilden. That ball just floating up. Come back to the ball and make that diving snag. And watch the pressure on John Kitna from inside. Little play action fake. But there's Kendrell Bell getting right in his kitchen. And look at that catch by Gilden coming back, using his arms to keep the ball from hitting the ground. And his right knee was down before he pitched it right there. Good call by the officials right on top of it. But what a great catch by Jason Gilden.
However, for Kitna, it's his 21st interception this season. Their team record is 22, set by Ken Anderson in '78 and Boomer Esiason in 1990.
And we might be having a challenge here by Dick LeBeau and the Bengals on whether Jason Gilden caught that ball
or trapped it.
Cincinnati is challenging the ruling of an interception on the previous play, saying the ball hit the ground.
Well, the one thing, Gus, that we know for sure is that the ruling on the field was that Jason Gilden caught this ball. So it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. You see his arms right there. It's tough to tell. Maybe that ball was sitting on the ground. But unless you have a definitive view, and this might be the view, but did he cuff that ball prior to it hitting the ground?
Ooh.
And that's a tough call. And remember, Gus, the call on the field stands unless it's irrefutable evidence to overturn the call. I don't think you have the evidence to overturn it. I don't think you can tell for sure whether that ball was trapped or not. It looked like Gilden had his arms underneath right there. The ball wasn't moving around. There it is. There's the catch up in his arm. Is that ball moving? And it's a tough... The umpire's actually shielding us from the view. And Jason Gilden's watching the monitor as well. He's trying to say, hey, that's a good catch.
It would be his first interception of the season.
Well, I just say the way that the rule stands, Gus, that's an interception, because you just can't tell that it's not. And the call in the field was it was an interception. It was a great effort by Gilden coming forward, that ball floating around out there and cradling it and trying to keep it from hitting the ground. Gilden known for his sacks as opposed to his interceptions.
Now 1 out of every 3 is overruled as we take a look at replay this season. So let's see. Here's Jeff Triplett.
After reviewing the play, there is not indisputable visual evidence with which to overturn the ruling on the field. Therefore, the ruling on the field of an interception stands. Cincinnati is charged a timeout.
So Gilden, all smiles on the Pittsburgh sideline. Picks up his first interception of the season.
And watch him go ahead and make that move, driving forward, sliding those arms around the ground, keep that ball from hitting. And there's only one man that knows whether that was an actual catch or not. And most linebackers I know will go to their grave saying, I caught it.
So the Steelers take over at the Cincinnati 44. Cincinnati out of challenges. They cannot challenge a play for the remainder of this game. They've challenged 2 already. 1st and 10 at the 44. The handoff for Montemagno. And he is driven backwards, game tackled. Oliver Gibson, as well as Corey Hall, in on the play.
And Gus, we've talked about everybody today, but how about the guy that's been the ringleader of this offense, Cordell Stewart, and the leader that he stepped up to be?
Unbelievable season.
It's been so impressive, and I think at the end of last year we saw him just get so frustrated with the offense, and he told us in one of the last games of the season, I'm just going to go out and do what I do, which is run around, make plays, be athletic, and that's really carried over this year, especially with the new coordinator, Mike Mularkey, saying, hey, we're going to use the athleticism that our quarterback presents.
Here's the draw play for Montemagno. So Cordell Stewart, when we talked to him last year, ironically, it was the final game of the season out in San Diego. And he looked a lot more confident because he had made the decision internally to just go out and play his game. And what Coach Mularkey has done is he's allowed Cordell to play his game within the structure of this offense that he's created.
It's been so impressive, and it's created so many weapons. And really, one of the keys that they've really been able to capitalize on this year is this situation right here, 3rd down. They've simplified their blocking. Cordell Stewart gave a lot of credit to Russ Grimm in the process.
Here's Stewart looking, goes up top. It is intercepted. Case Bahar. No flag on the play. Case Bahar spinning at the 20. And he is taken down at the 26. And a lot of late hits going on. Hines Ward was clobbered on the play.
And Cordell Stewart has been flawless all day. Cordell Stewart, Gus, has been flawless all day. And sometimes when you have a 6'5 receiver that just continues to make plays, you just think, hey, if I just throw it up and make something happen. It looks like Hayes Fahard was holding Plexico Burress, had his right arm, and Plexico Burress couldn't get his arm up. And that's what he's saying, hey, I'm being held. Because usually one of the things that Plexico Burress does so well is get up and get the ball at its highest point, and he didn't even get up that time right there.
So a slick move by Kevin Case-Fahard. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Bengals. Chitna throwing. Warwick with the catch at the 35 and dances out of bounds at the 43. It's a 17-yard pickup.
And Peter Warrick, I think, is kind of in the situation that Plexico Burress was in last year. He's starting to get some confidence. You see that catch right there? He makes some big catches. He drops some balls that he should have, but he's developing a confidence. I think Peter Warrick next year is going to be a completely different receiver than you see this year. I think he's going to work hard in the offseason, has a great work ethic, and I think he's going to continue to develop really well.
Corey Dillon breaks it outside, flag on the play. It's going to be a face mask. Dillon grabbing the face mask of Dwayne Washington and not letting go. That's generally a 15-yarder. After a 6-yard gain in which he gets out of bounds, now they call a hold against Cincinnati.
Holding offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Ron Dugans. But watch Corey Dillon at the end of the play on Dwayne Washington.
And you got some great eyesight out there, partner. And maybe once the official threw the flag for holding, he didn't see this one right here. Watch Corey Dillon grab on and hang on and twist and turn. And that is definitely, and he keeps hanging on. He got away with the 15-yarder right there. You got to get your official's license.
Not a chance. First down and a long 20. Too much pressure.
Come on, I hear there's good benefits.
From the 33. Here's Kitna throwing it. He finds Neal, the fullback, who gets out of bounds. A gain of 7. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score Pittsburgh 23, Cincinnati 10. We'll return to Paul Brown Stadium right after this word from your local station. Steelers with 14 points in the first quarter of play, 2 Plexico Burress touchdowns. And that has been the major difference, leading at 23-10. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you. Burress with 6 catches, 102 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Cordell Stewart having a successful day, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Second down and 13 from the 40 for the Bengals. And a whistle on the play. Play blown dead.
Might have been a false start from the Bengals.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 80, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Peter Warrick. Thursday on Survivor with only 2 episodes left. The stakes are higher than ever. Who will make it to the Final 4? Find out on an all-new Survivor, Africa, Thursday on CBS. Second down, 18 at the 35. Corey Dillon in the backfield. Here's Kitna over the middle spot. Warrick with the first down and some. Gets to the 45, a gain of 20. Now let's go to New York for an update. Here's Jim Nance.
All right, Gus and Brent, the Jets offense has stalled on 3 drives today, leading to John Hall field goals, the latest from 32 yards out. No touchdowns for the Jets. They're down 5, fourth quarter with 5:50 to go, and the Jets have just received the punt. Let's go back to you.
And for the Jets, it's win and you're in. And if they win this week and win next week at Oakland, they get a bye and win the division.
Little trap game going on today.
Paul Hackett has been very often criticized, rather, in New York for the past few weeks about his offense. Underneath, and Warrick crunched. Brent Alexander.
And we've talked about some of the unsung heroes on this defense, and Brent Alexander leads the way. The captain back there at safety. Look at Peter Warrick go up and have the ball in his hands. Bang! And he takes a shot. And Gus Warrick had possession, but you got to have 2 feet on the ground for that to be considered a fumble. He just gets one, and bang, that ball is gone before that second one comes down. And that's the thrill of going across the middle.
Do you feel that the next day? Will Peter Warrick feel that the next day?
Yeah, it might be too cold to feel it right now, but he'll clearly feel it tomorrow.
Second and 10 from the 45, Corey Dillon. And Dillon dragged down Kentrell Bell at the 45 with the tackle. Once again, Jim Nance in New York.
All right, a little update on the NFC West. Marshall Faulk, huge game today. This is his 4th touchdown. Rams routing the Colts, and they may lock up the division because the 49ers are down 13 with 6:20 to go in Dallas, and the Cowboys have the football. Let's go back to Gus and Brett.
Wow. The Niners overlooking the Cowboys.
Your former team.
Jeez, and that could be important. You know, that home wild card is important because they're going to be in the mix with Green Bay. You don't want to go to Green Bay if you're the 49ers.
Here's Kitna to the sideline, incomplete, and if the Rams win today...
You mean when?
If the Rams win today, they lock up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And that's not a team you want to play at home on that turf.
No, they're built for speed, built for turf. And actually, Randy Cross on the NFL Today said that he thought that they'd go for more than Michael Jordan went for last night. What Jordan have, 51?
Yeah.
Well, the Rams got to score a couple more touchdowns, and Randy will be right in there. It looks good, Randy.
So Cincinnati forced to punt it away. Harris barely gets it off. Wobbly punt. Goes into the end zone for a touchback. So with 13-16 remaining in the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh leads 23-10. And tonight, if you're into nostalgia, so is 60 Minutes. And who better to get nostalgic about than Carol Burnett? Tonight on 60 Minutes. Pittsburgh with the football at their own 20. Leading at 23-10. Here's Hines Ward running the football. Ward breaking a tackle and gets to the 35. A 14-yard gain. Hines Ward in at quarterback. And that catches this Cincinnati team off guard a bit.
And you see Hines Ward Gus limping a little bit after the play. Here he is at quarterback. Hines hadn't done a whole lot catching the ball today. One of the few guys that hasn't made a contribution. Look at that cutback ability. And coming into the game today, 87 catches. Just a phenomenal job receiving Mr. Consistency for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Plays some quarterback while at the University of Georgia. Chris Fuamatama game tackled at the 33. Oliver Gibson leading the way. And Gibson and Fuamatama getting into it. And Gibson has been a little chippy all day.
Well, he doesn't
the Notre Dame grad and the former Steeler.
And we've spent some time with him over the years, and he doesn't like losing. And you know, things were looking pretty good here 7 weeks ago. Bengals were 4-3 heading into the bye. Had a big win against the Detroit Lions, and it's been all downhill since then. And the frustration obviously coming out today. And you see some players chipping each other and taking some shots. And the officials have to do a good job of containing this game because there could be some fights before this whole thing's over.
Second down and 11 at the 33. Stewart, incomplete. Tubman, the intended receiver.
And that's one of the few times today Cordell wasn't right on the money with the ball.
Don't forget, coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. Some of you will see Oakland at Denver, others Seattle at San Diego.
How about Seattle still in the mix after Baltimore?
Baltimore losing yesterday to Tampa Bay. And if Baltimore loses to Minnesota on Monday, and the Seahawks win both of their final games, Seattle will get in. Baltimore will not. Stewart wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Sacked by Brian Simmons. Second sack of the day. The 45th sack of the season for the Bengals, and they're chasing their own team record of 46 set in 1976.
Here's Brian Simmons right in the middle of the field. Watch him come right up the A-gap. Nice spin move, very impressive. Stays on top of the sack. Cordell Stewart trying to hurdle him. Brian Simmons saying, "You're not jumping over me."
Josh Miller punting from the 14. Fair catch signal, and it's fair caught by Peter Warwick. A 43-yard punt, and these two teams really jawing at each other. John Kitna trying to remain calm on the sideline.
On CBS is sponsored by Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth. New Pepsi Twist, Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon. And by Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
And that is a look at the Cincinnati Hotel in downtown Cincy, one of the great historic hotels in the city. And the Bengals running the football. Corey Dillon nowhere to go. Aaron Smith with the tackle. Here's a question for you, Brent. You ready?
Give it to me.
Which one of these potential playoff outsiders is most likely to rebound and make a playoff run in 2002? Tennessee, Minnesota, Indianapolis, Denver, the Giants, or another team? Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
I'm taking Tennessee. And you remember when you asked me last year what I said?
What did you say? Pittsburgh.
That's right.
You certainly did. I can't even deny you. Here's Kitna over the middle. Great throw. Nice catch. And it's Darnay Scott with the catch. A 15-yard pickup in front of Dwayne Washington.
And Darnay Scott's had a big day today as well. Making some plays down the field, across the middle. He's not afraid to go across the middle, and actually see him coming slowly off the
he's
field.
A little shaken up.
Might have taken an ankle right there. And when you come across the middle, you're going to take a couple shots. Deep over route. Nice job of using his body, defend it, to put himself in front of the defender.
I think he may have hurt his shoulder.
I think he might be right.
1st and 10 at the 40. Kitna again to the sideline. Warwick with the catch, and Warwick is out of bounds at the 45. Peter Warwick, a gain of 14. Darnay Scott with 7 catches, 113. Warwick also having a really fine day receiving the ball.
Doing a nice job. You see him going ahead and setting up the defender, breaking to the outside, getting the hands on the ball, getting upfield, not getting out of bounds right now, getting 3 or 4 extra yards, and starting to run more crisp routes. I think that comes in the maturity process, and we've talked about it with Plexico Burris and obviously Peter Warwick. Making some good strides this year, and I expect him to be a real significant impact player this next season.
91 yards in receiving. Kitna, quick fires, and it's Bennett. It's out of bounds at the 42. Clock stops with 9:19 to go here in the 4th quarter of play. Tomorrow, CBS Sports rolls into bowl season when Taylor Stubblefield leads Joe Diller's Purdue Boilermakers against Jason Gesser and the Washington State Cougars at the Wells Fargo Sun Bowl. Live from El Paso. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern here on CBS. El Paso, Texas. 2nd and 6 at the 42. Kitna setting up, looking, and he dumps it out of bounds. Brings up 3rd down and 6 at the 42. John Kitna putting up solid passing numbers, however, unable to get that ball into the end zone. So this, quite possibly, 4-down territory as Bill Cowher says, hey, that should have been intentional grounding. They need to go to the 36-yard line for 1st down. 3rd down, 6 at the 42. Kitna over the middle, underthrown. Scott, the intended receiver, and that will bring up 4th down.
And you had mentioned this could be 4-down territory. I think you definitely go for it, Gus. Got the ball on Steelers' side of the field, and obviously too far for a field goal. And Dick LeBeau has been very aggressive in his play calling today and going for it on 4th downs, and that's exactly what they're going to do right here. They've had some success running a little square out route, in a little bunch formation, just throw that 5-7 yard out right to the sideline.
4th down and 6. They need to go to the 36. Here's Kitna. Under pressure, and Kitna is sacked. And the Bengals say it should be a face mask penalty.
Yeah, well, what I say is you got to block Jason Gilden. And here's the guy, you know he's going to be in the backfield. They're holding him anyway. Maybe a little bit of a face mask on top of being held.
23-10, Pittsburgh with the lead and the football over Cincinnati at their own 45. Uamatama follow around the corner, and he's taken down at the 50. And for this Pittsburgh football team, if they win this game under Coach Cowher, they will clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. And this is what they've done in the past with the home field. 75 and 78. They won the Super Bowl 92, lost in the division playoffs 94. We all remember that game. San Diego ousting the Steelers.
And that's who I was rooting for, San Diego, because we were in.
That's right. You played them that year.
Yeah, I knew.
Why did you want to play San Diego?
Because it was going to be a gimme. I didn't want to play a tough game.
Here's Cordell Stewart. Underneath, it's incomplete, intended for Hines Ward. So you'd rather play an easy team than a difficult one.
In the Super Bowl, when you're talking about jewelry and rings and stuff, we had already played the Chargers in Week 10 that year, or Week 9, and throttled them. So we knew what we were in for. So we clearly knew the Steelers and their blitz and their linebackers.
Foul. Roughing the passer. 56. Defense.
Ryan Simmons.
Left his feet and hit the quarterback. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And we talk about Brian Simmons being in the backfield today, and there's Cordell throwing the ball. And I don't know. I don't think Brian Simmons was going for the knockout blow. Just a little contact. You see him pull his arms back. But Cordell working on his acting there. Very impressive.
First down and 10 for the Steelers at the Cincinnati 36-yard line. Steelers determined to run the football. Matama, who's had a really nice game, caught a touchdown pass on the screen and rushed it 18 times for 55 yards. As we take a look around the NFL, the Jets win and they get in against the 2-12 Buffalo Bills. The Jets playing at home, 1:12 to go, and they are struggling.
How about win 2 and they win the division?
Wow, Herman Edwards.
How about another team, Miami, that's not played too well as of late, going against Atlanta, who still has an outside shot?
Well, Matama once again. And he is taken down after a gain of maybe 2. Tennessee leading big at home against Cleveland. Jacksonville trailing Kansas City. And the Bears 11-3, looking for their 12th win against rival Detroit.
Justin, how about this offensive line for the Steelers? We've talked about everybody today but them. But what a fantastic job they've done all year. We said early on in the season they might have the best offensive line in the National Football League, and I continue to think that.
Stewart out of the shotgun. It is intercepted. Artrell Hawkins with the interception. Second interception of the day for Cordell Stewart.
And the Bengals, believe it or not, are still not out of this game. Cordell Stewart looking at the quick out route, and Artrell Hawkins driving on it. Impressive interception.
Tomorrow's the big event. Are we there?
The World on CBS is sponsored by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done. And by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level.
.12 remaining. And the Steelers are talking about Super Bowl. However, Cincinnati is not out of this game as of yet. First and 10 at the 32. Kitna. It is cradled and caught. Nice grab by Chad Johnson. An 11-yard pickup. 6 minutes to go. And the hurry-up offense being used now by the Bengals.
And I like seeing this. You see so many teams waste so much time huddling up. They need 2 scores to get back in this game.
Kitna fumbles the snap, runs it straight ahead, and picks up positive yardage. Gets to the midfield mark, a gain of 7.
This definitely wasn't a design play. Drop it on the ground, pick it up, nobody's around. Get 8 yards. John Kitna showing his running prowess.
2nd and 3. Kitna fires underneath, drops. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Bennett unable to hang on. Now tonight, if you're into nostalgia, so is 60 Minutes. And who better to get nostalgic about than Carol Burnett? Then Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams star in the action-packed thriller Eraser tonight on CBS. 3rd down and 3 from midfield. Gitna looking, flushed out of the pocket, just fires it up in the air, and it's batted away. Chad Scott, nice defensive play.
Good coverage by the Steelers secondary there. John Kidd wasn't able to go to his first read. Actually had to come out of the pocket and try to throw the ball up to Chad Johnson. Just let the big wide receiver make a play, but it wasn't to be. 4th down now, Gus. They've done a good job of getting 3 receivers on one side. You see them now. They're at the top of your screen. Watch them trying a little misdirection, crossing routes to put one guy in a spot like 3 yards over the ball.
On 4th down and 3. Batted down, and that'll do it. This time it's Mike Logan. And the Bengals turn it over on downs.
Mike Logan coming right off the slot receiver from the outside, timing his jump perfectly. Steelers have done a good job putting pressure on the quarterback with some safety blitzes, and there's Mike Logan getting in there. If you can't get to the quarterback, get up and get in his face.
So with 5:09 to play, Pittsburgh has it at midfield. Cincinnati turns it over on downs for the 4th time today. Here's the pitch. Fuamata has to stay in bounds, doesn't, and gets whacked heading to the sideline.
It might have been the other way around.
Or whack somebody.
There you
I believe
go.
It's our Trell Hawkins.
Wow. That was a shot.
Now don't forget, tomorrow on CBS Sports, we roll into bowl season. It's fun in the sun when the Purdue Boilermakers take on Washington State in the Wells Fargo Sun Bowl, live from El Paso, Texas. It's the Big Ten versus the Pac-10. 2nd down 9 at the 49. Mafala wrapped up and goes down for a loss. He loses about 4 on the play. Canute Curtis with the tackle.
And Canute Curtis has had a big day today for the Bengals. Keeping him in the game, doing a nice job defensively.
Time still ticking away, though. 4:14 and counting.
Looked like we got a quick glimpse of the bus there on the sideline, huh?
He's all bundled up.
He knows how to stay warm.
And the timeout called by Cincinnati. They have 1 remaining. So don't forget, coming up next, we'll roll on here at CBS, Oakland and Denver, Seattle and San Diego. And the New York Jets, folks, have been beaten this afternoon by the Buffalo Bills. Miami is currently leading Atlanta, so the Jets, if they would have won the game, they would have clinched the spot. They fall to 9-6 and have to travel next week to Oakland to play the Raiders. And New England is now in control of the AFC East. Their final game next week for the division title against the Carolina Panthers.
Boy, what a huge game for the Patriots. They have a bye this week, and some people say playing the Panthers next week might be a bye 2 weeks in a row for the Patriots. Clearly, with the division title on the line, they are going to be pumped up for that game.
3rd down and 11 from the 49. Ball batted, intercepted. Justin Smith gets down to the 30. 3rd interception of the day for Cordell Stewart. And the Bengals are not out of this game yet.
And is this Brian Simmons getting his hands up there? It's Renard Wilson, and how about Justin Smith, the defensive end, coming in and getting the ball at the highest point. The Steelers just trying to throw a little screen pass, thinking it's safe. But when that ball's tipped up in the air, anything can happen. Watch Justin Smith the impressive rookie for the Bengals, come in and make a big catch. And these fans have been leaving the stadium for the last few minutes, and this Bengal team is still in the game.
First down for Cincy at the 32. Kitna down the field. Incomplete. Ushmansada, the intended receiver. Dwayne Washington covered. With the coverage.
Well, and if you're going to find something positive to say about this Bengals team in the midst of this losing streak, is they haven't stopped playing hard. You got to credit Dick LeBeau for that and the young players on this team. They haven't folded up their tent and gotten ready for the offseason. They've continued to play hard, just like this game today. It seems like there's been 3 or 4 times where they've almost been completely out of the game, and they'll find a way by hard work to work themselves back into the process.
Second down and 10. Kitna to the sideline. Ushmansada with the catch, and he's driven out of bounds by Washington, but the clock stops at 3:42 after a gain of 13 yards.
And Gus, as well as the Steelers have been playing a little bit sloppy today with some of the passes intercepted and the defense giving up more yardage than they would like to. Some of the coverage in the secondary, the Bengals receivers, a couple of them, Scott and Warwick, have had some pretty big days. Ushmansada as well, and of course Corey Dillon's had some success, and you expect him to have some.
At the Pittsburgh 19, getting a back to pass, and he's sacked, and a flag on the play. Joey Porter with the sack, 3rd of the day, but hold on, there is a flag.
Offside. Defense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And it was Porter.
And he's over Richmond Webb, and you're going to see it look like Richmond Webb might have not known the snap count. What a great get-off there by Porter, but actually offside. And Richmond Webb saying they better call that.
So 1st and 5 at the Pittsburgh 14. 3:38 to go. Kitna out of the backfield, Bennett. And he's dropped at the 7, gets the first down. Clock continues to run.
And the Bengals have to hurry up and get on this ball. They've only got 1 timeout left. Remember, they lost one in the challenge early on in this half, and they called another one.
From the 7, getting again. This time it's incomplete. Ball thrown behind Peter Warwick.
And you know what, at that time, right there, I'd almost have him drop the ball, because you would have got tackled inbounds, the clock would have kept running, you would have lost another 30 seconds. Right now, the Bengals can't afford to throw the ball short of the end zone. They're going to lose too much time. They've only got 1 timeout. They're going to have to get the ball back. Might even be a case where they go on sides, but right now, you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
2nd and goal at the 7. Here's Bennett. Stumbling, and is stopped at the 6. Lee Flowers jumping on him.
Yeah, I don't know about that one right there. They've been aggressive throwing the ball. Lost 20 seconds running the ball right there. Now you can't huddle up, and there's confusion.
Here's Kitna again into the end zone. Tom Dugan touchdown. Great over-the-shoulder grab by Ron Dugan.
And I think that was right over Mike Logan. And Gus, that's one of those throws by John Kitna. It's going to either be a touchdown for your team or a touchdown for the other team. Hangs it up on the out route, going across. Impressive catch by Dugans. Nice ups. And the Bengals will not die.
The Raptors in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. And the Bengals are refusing to go away. Pittsburgh with a 23-17 lead. And that's the first touchdown pass in 16 quarters for John Kitna.
Let's take another look at this. Tossed by Kitna. Just enough zip on it. Puts it over the shoulder. Dugan's going up. Getting up high, Gus, and catching it over his shoulder. That is a very tough catch, especially with the defender right in your face. Logan right there, not able to get his hands on the ball. And
Just an impressive catch for the young wide receiver. Little belly bump there.
So the Bengals, what do?
I say you go. I say you go onside. They've been aggressive. They've been taking their chances all day. You've got one timeout. If you kick it deep, you've got one timeout, and the 2-minute warning and a first down beat you. And so I just think the way it's setting up, it's time for Neil Rackers to try that onside kick. And just remember, we've seen that ball on the ground more than a few times today. Some errant passes. That ball, it's cold. It's a little bit more slippery. It's tougher to grip. Some of these guys on the hands team might have not touched the ball today, so they might have a tough time hanging on to it right here. And
so Whitman and Ward and Burris, the hands team in the game. Uamatama Fala for Pittsburgh, all lining up Newman as well. Rackers. There it is. It's up in the air. Let's see.
And it looked like Bobby Shaw had it initially, but it slipped down. Didn't catch it cleanly. Good onside by Rackers. Put the ball up high. That's what you want to do on an onside kick. Let your defense or your defenders get down there and have a shot. But Bobby Shaw had it initially, and it was sliding down his leg, and I think he might have just landed right on top of it. But a Bengal just came out with the ball. Whether the officials will give it to him or not, they're still looking at the pile, but the ball already came out.
Some confusion.
And Gus, crazy stuff goes on in those piles, biting, scratching, pinching, and you never know. You can wrestle the ball away from somebody.
Jeff Triplett
and they're trying to
have a conversation.
Now the Bengals got the ball. They came out with the ball, and that's what's going on right now.
And the Bengals get it. Holy mackerel. The Bengals get the football.
And here's a
Real Johnson.
And Gus, you're never going to be able to tell what happens in that pile. You see Bobby Shaw go up, and there's the ball sliding down his leg. It's on the ground right there. And it looks like two Steelers are on top of it. But like I said, in piles, all kinds of crazy stuff goes on. That looks like Bobby Shaw right there is right on top of it. And if I'm the Steelers, I think I go ahead and challenge this play. Because from that last angle, it looked like Bobby Shaw fell right on top of the ball. No ifs, ands, or buts. And like I said, the pile, guys are grabbing guys' arms, they're pinching, they're biting, pull the ball from it, and you come out of a big scrape with the ball. We're here today once again.
So Triplett having a long conversation with Bill Cowher.
There will be no review of the play, as the recovery of a loose ball is not a reviewable situation under the replay rule.
There you go.
It will be Cincinnati's ball, 1st and 10.
Wow.
And it sure looked like, to me, Gus, Bobby Shaw fell right on the ball right there. He's right on top of the ball. That is exactly a Steelers ball. There's no Bengals close to it right now. There's the closest guys right there on the side. But in those piles, you just get a couple guys jumping on top, and you rip the guy's arm loose and come up with the ball, and the officials can't see.
First down and 10 at the 46. They go up top, incomplete. Push Manzana, the intended receiver. So we have 2:37 remaining. Bengals down by 6. A touchdown, an extra point could give them the lead. And something like this can cost you home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Especially in Pittsburgh, that's a definite advantage. In December and January. 2nd and 10. Once again, Kitna underneath, incomplete, a flag on the play. And this will be, I believe, against Chad Scott.
Boy, it looked like Chad Scott was just going for the ball.
Interference.
From my angle.
Interference. Defense, number 30. First down.
Now, both players have the right to the ball. Little slant route. Here's the throw from John Kitna. I don't know. It didn't look like interference to me. Scott just going for the ball. Actually had it for a second there. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, it was only a 5-yard penalty anyway.
So first down at the Pittsburgh 49. Here's Kitna to the sideline again. Caught out of bounds. And the clock continues to run.
Actually, I guess they call forward progress right there, and if you're hit out of bounds, going backwards or forward progress is called. They'll continue to run the clock.
Corey Dillon back in the game, breaks it to the 30. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Cincinnati with the ball at the Pittsburgh 30.
Excuse me, can you take Timmy to tuba practice?
No problem. Content.
It's like a home game for the Steelers. All of a sudden, they pulled out the terrible towels. All of these Steeler fans in attendance.
And when those terrible towels come out, the Steelers love to blitz. Watch to see if they put pressure here on John Kitna.
Cincinnati at the Pittsburgh 30. Here's Kitna in trouble. Firing on the run, incomplete. Pushmanzada, the intended receiver, again in front of Chad Scott.
And we saw Joey Porter on the blitz coming in, getting Kitna out of the pocket.
Very important game for the Steelers at 12-2. A win today, they clinch the home field throughout the playoffs. However, this Cincinnati team is giving them a run for their money. John Kitna on the day, 28 of 57, a career high, 327 yards. 1:55 to go, 2nd and 10.
Don't let John Kitna set his feet. If you're the Steelers, when he's had time to do that, he's been successful.
Here's Kitna with time underneath. It's caught. And Pushmanzada caught it. And it's stopped by Mike Jones.
Yeah, now if you're the Steelers, you'll give him a 2-yard route that lets the clock run and makes it 3rd and 8. You got to be able to run your route more downfield. Take some chances. You got to get a first down, if nothing else.
4 receivers for the Bengals. Underneath, Pushmanzada keeps running. Pushmanzada stops at the 6.
And if Pushmanzada keeps his speed, he walks into the end zone. We've talked about the turf down there.
And an injured Steeler on the field at the 10, Dwayne Washington, and they're going to have to stop the clock.
And guess that's a timeout for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the last 2 minutes, when you have an injury, they take one of your timeouts. And they were going to need some of those if they get the ball back. And Pushmanzada, you see him slide right down there in what looks like a sand pit all of a sudden.
And the rookie out of Oregon State has 8 catches for 88 yards.
And John Kitna told us, this kid had the most phenomenal week of practice that I've seen. 8 big catches, and look him run after the catch, run through the tackle, slides right there, or he was going to slide right by the defense, and Chad Scott of the Pittsburgh Steelers for a touchdown.
Washington shaking it off. He has 15 tackles today. And you can feel the tension on that Pittsburgh sideline. So much at stake against a struggling team, losers of 7 in a row.
And we've seen the Steelers have a goal line stand already early in the game. The Bengals have to get a touchdown here, Gus. And the Steelers have been most successful when they brought the blitz. Get those corners up tight in coverage, though. If you're going to blitz, don't give room to the wide receivers.
Cincinnati with 1 timeout. 1st and goal at the 7. Kitna into the end zone. And it's incomplete. Bobbled by Warwick. And he can't hold on. Peter says, I did catch that ball.
And the ball's up, and you see, it looks like he made a great effort to catch it. I think the ball, though, initially hit the ground. And remember, the call in the field is the call that stands. Bengals have used their challenges, remember, Gus.
Second down and goal at the 7. Draw play, Corey Dillon. And Dillon goes down at the 6. And Cincinnati will have to use its final timeout.
And Gus, I had mentioned that Cincinnati had used their challenges. That doesn't matter within the last 2 minutes. It didn't matter anyway. It was just a 1-yard potential catch. But we talked about the Steelers' goal line stand earlier in the game. And when they're aggressive and when they blitz and when they played that tight coverage on the outside, they've been a little softer in their coverage here in the fourth quarter. Allow those receivers to the Cincinnati Bengals to run around.
There you see the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a former Steelers assistant is Bob Bratkowski, who's right there in the middle, the offensive coordinator here in Cincinnati. Was interviewed for the job as the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. However, Coach Cowher electing to go with Mike Mularkey. And Bratkowski coming to Cincinnati. Third down goal at the 6. Bengals. Kitna sprinting out, looking. Kitna got to get it away. Broken up in the back of the end zone, and it's Dwayne Washington. Danny Farmer, the intended receiver.
And I'm not so sure that Danny Farmer didn't hold on to Washington and could have been charged with offensive interference. Watch John Kitna throwing back across the field and see Farmer getting his hands in there, preventing an interception.
And that brings up fourth down and goal at the 6.
Got to go for it. I'm looking for Peter Warwick.
Corey Dillon, the lone setback. Here's Kitna going into the pumping, into the end zone, broken up. What a flag on the play. Holy cow.
And I think Chad Johnson's saying he's being held by Chad Scott on the outside. That's what the officials are talking about right now.
Oh! Wow! Holding. Defense, number 30. Half the distance. Automatic first down.
Wow! Because Chad Johnson was trying to get inside on a slant route. And Chad Scott got his hands on him, and it looked like he almost tackled him. Watch out here when he tries to slip him inside, gets his hands there, and then he just goes down. Might have been a little bit of acting, might have a little bit of hands at the wrong place at the wrong time. But John Kitna sees it right away, looking for the flag, and it came out.
All kinds of Chad controversies this year.
Oh, you
First
got
in
it.
Florida,
You got
now here in Cincinnati.
And Gus, remember that was holding. It wasn't pass interference, so the ball doesn't go to the 1. It just goes half the distance to the goal.
First down and goal at the 3. Kitna in the end zone. Incomplete. Dugan's had a step, but another flag on the play. And it goes against Cincinnati.
They're holding all over the field down there.
Shot block. 28 offense. 15-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Corey Dillon.
And you can't take a guy low once he's engaged, Gus, and that's a 15-yard penalty. Huge penalty. And you see Goff engaged right here, and here comes Corey Dillon back in to try to protect his quarterback. And I don't know, that's a little bit of a shaky call, Gus, because Goff pushed him by, and Corey Dillon, just protecting his quarterback, took the cut block, took him low. And I don't know if you could say that Kendra Bell was engaged with Goff. And Dick LeBeau, you see him saying, hey, that's a messed up call.
So it's now first and goal at the 18. 45 seconds remaining. John Kitna goes up top for Farmer. Touchdown Cincinnati. Unbelievable. 18-yard touchdown. Danny Farmer, the seldom used wide receiver, with the huge touchdown grab on the double move.
What an unbelievable catch over the shoulder going away with John Kentna putting it where only Farmer could catch it, nobody else. And Gus, the extra point isn't a gimme in this game, the way that both these kickers have been kicking and the field down there. We talked about it being a sand pit.
And Rackers has missed 2 field goals today, a 28-yarder and a 32-yarder. He's been good from 34. And here, the huge extra point. Harris is the holder, and down, up. Oh, he missed it! Unbelievable! He missed the extra point!
And Gus, I don't think that's Neil Rackers. That's the field down there. We talked about it all game. It's ugly. It's a sand pit. The ball's almost in the ground. You can't get footing. You can't get your foot under the ball. Both kickers have had trouble. But we said the extra point isn't a gimme, because let's go back to this touchdown. Watch this aerial shot. Danny Farmer in the corner running a forced corner. And they're calling a force out. Gus, the officials saying he was forced out by Washington that gave him the touchdown.
The extra point.
The extra point.
Wow.
And it is just ugly down there between the hashes, and poor Neil Rackers can't get a break. But it is some tough sledding down there on the field, like we said, between the hashes. Both kickers having trouble. But especially the end zone gut to our right. There's almost no grass down there.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right.
What a strange turn of events.
That was one heck of a catch by Danny Farmer.
Once again, a look at the missed extra point, a high snap, and Rackers pushing it.
And you can see him get that left foot, that plant foot down, and it just goes right into the sand. And just wasn't able to drive that kicking leg through, and it ended up pushing it out to the right.
So Rackers sends it away. Picked up by Edwards at the 21. Edwards trying to get outside. Flag on the play, and he steps out of bounds at the 45, a 26-yard reserve.
Man, there's something going on every play, and that would have put the Steelers right in position to make something big happen, and I think they're going to call Dan Kreider for a hold.
Holding during return. Number 48, return team, 10-yard penalty.
Actually, Myron Bell. And that would have given the Steelers a chance for a couple of decent completions to get into field goal range.
So the Steelers will have the football at their own 30. Don't forget, coming up next, some of you will see Oakland at Denver or Seattle at San Diego. Well, we may have overtime right here, so let's talk Pittsburgh. They have 2 timeouts remaining with the ball at the 30, and Chris Brown has struggled with his field goal kicking this season. However, he has kicked a long field goal of 55 yards, which tied Gary Anderson's team record. So where does he have to go to get in field goal range?
He's got to go probably about to the 32, 33-yard line. Got to have a legitimate chance.
Muhammad Fala dragged down.
And are the Steelers just going to let the clock roll and wait for overtime? And there's a penalty flag on the field. There was some confusion. The Bengals were going on and off the field. The Steelers had players coming on and off. And I don't know if they're going to call an illegal substitution against the Steelers or too many men on the field for the Bengals. But it was a little bit of a cat and mouse game going on the Steelers sideline, trying to decide what personnel group you're putting in, and the Bengals were trying to match it.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So 12 men on the field for the Bengals. 21 seconds remaining here in regulation.
And it's not the penalty as much as the time that went off the clock. 9 seconds lost, giving the ball to Fuamatu Ma'afala. And those are important seconds if you're going to try to get into field goal range right now. You've got 2 timeouts left. You can use the middle of the field as well as the sideline. And most legitimately, probably about the 30-yard line, Gus, with these conditions between the hashes.
First down. Bengals in the prevent. Stewart out of the shotgun. Cordell loads it up. And it's intercepted. With 12 seconds remaining. 4th interception of the day for Cordell Stewart.
Now that's just a chance. Maybe you're going for a pass interference, but none of the Steelers receivers go for the ball. All the Bengals DBs go for the ball, and the Steelers wide receivers are just sitting there watching them.
Case Beharn with the 2nd interception of the day.
Now, if you're going to go down and mix it up and potentially draw a pass interference penalty, you got to go for the ball. You can't just stand there and let the defensive backs for the other team catch it. Looks like a little confusion from the wide receiver group of the Steelers. If you know you're going to run the Hail Mary, hey, get in the mix.
And it looks like we're heading to overtime here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals are tied at 23 apiece at the end of regulation. John Kitna having a career day. Bill Cowher needing 1 win to clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And let's take a look at the overtime rules. The coin toss will determine possession, a 15-minute period, 2 timeouts per team, and the team to score first is declared the winner. All challenges handled in the replay booth, and what a terrible day it's been for this young man. Neil Rackers missing a 28-yard field goal, a 32-yard field goal, and an extra point that would have won the game for the Bengals. Wow.
And Dick LeBeau, we've talked about his team not giving up, and Bill Cowher, who continues to probably be amazed at some of the things that have gone on the field today. And talking about Dick LeBeau and this team, it is a credit that this team's continued to play hard down the stretch. We've talked about their defense, keeping them in a lot of games, and the offense has responded today. They've been a more aggressive play-calling unit. They've taken some shots down the field. They've come up with some big plays, which has been missing from their offense.
And remember, both kickers have missed extra points today. Brown missed one in the 3rd quarter after 37-yard touchdown reception by Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala.
And we're talking about home field advantage, Gus, throughout the playoffs for the Steelers. And let's talk about the big picture there. They still have a game that they need to win either today or next week versus Cleveland. Either one of those victories will give them the home field advantage. The team that they're competing with, the Raiders.
Here's Jeff Triplett conducting the coin toss.
And then taking the goddamn shot. All right, gentlemen. We're going into a 15-minute overtime. The first team that scores wins. Each team will have 2 timeouts during the overtime. The timing rules of the 4th quarter will prevail, okay? And replay will be in charge the whole time. There will be no challenges from either side. Pittsburgh, there's a head, a tail. What is your call? Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is a tail. You want the football. You want to kick that way, turn your backs around. Pittsburgh, one to call, will receive. Good luck.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers will have it. 23-23. Back with overtime after this. 23 apiece, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and we are ready to begin the overtime session and the importance of this football game.
It's so important, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Of course, the Steelers would love to clinch it this week so they could rest some players, get some guys healthied up for the following week and through the playoffs. But the Cincinnati Bengals will not go away. And Gus, right now with this tie game, if it finished a tie, the Steelers would, of course,
still win the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So a win or a tie is all they're looking for at this point.
Last time there was a tie in the NFL, 1997, the Giants and the Redskins, 7-7. So this is Mike Logan running the football, gets up to the 40 or close to it, and the Steelers will have decent field position as Cordell Stewart comes back onto the field. And Stewart's last 3 passes have all been interceptions today. He's thrown 4. So with the ball at the 38-yard line, where do they have to go to get in field goal range?
Well, with the field conditions right now, Gus, there's no real decent field goal range. They'd love a touchdown, probably about the 30-yard line is where they'd like to go. We talked about it being more sandy on this side of the field where the Steelers are heading.
Here's Chris Fuamatama running the football. Straight ahead to the 44. Juwan Armour with the tackle. A gain of 6.
And you just want a sustained drive right here. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Don't want to force the ball. And you see the big stats for today. Both quarterbacks getting some yards. John Kitna having a huge day. We talked about the Steelers defense giving up more yards than they're used to. When Kitna's had time to set his feet, he's made some things happen.
2nd and 4 at the 44. Fuamatama again goes nowhere. Maybe lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Brian Simmons, the middle linebacker, coming in and making the play along with Vaughn Booker.
And we've talked about the role players for the Steelers, Gus, stepping up this whole year. And here's a crucial situation. And when I talk role players, I talk about 3rd wide receivers, 3rd and 4th wide receivers, Troy Edwards, Bobby Shaw. This is the time where they operate over the middle, zone defense, finding a hole, making that big 3rd down catch. That's what the Steelers have done all this season.
3rd down and 4 at the 44. Hines Ward in motion. Stewart out of the shotgun. We haven't seen him run it today. Underneath, Ward gets the 1st down. Hines Ward, tough grab as he drags Artrell Hawkins for 5 yards and a 1st down.
And I think Hines Ward actually slipped down and was able to run that slide out route. He goes in, slides down in that potential grass, and runs back out to the sideline. Ended up being a pretty impressive route just because of slipping on the sand there.
And Cordell put the ball right on his numbers, allowed him to get upfield and get forward for that 1st down.
From the 49. Here's the pitch. Fuamatama, and they are just waiting for him now. A loss of 4 on the play.
And the defensive front for the Cincinnati Bengals seems energized. They've been scrapping and fighting all day. Watch the penetration down at the bottom of your screen. Brian Simmons, Oliver Gibson, Takeo Spikes. Everybody's getting in on the play.
And it's tough sledding in there. We talked about the footing,
and it kind of being sandy, Gus. It's not allowing for the backs to go ahead and make real good plants. So that cutback that Fuamatama is used to having hasn't really been there.
2nd and 14 at the 45. They fake the reverse, and they dump it off to Fuamatama on the screen. He gets outside, drags the Bengal with him, and gets to the 47, a 9-yard pickup. And that'll make it 3rd down. And about 5 yards to go. And that is Vaughn Booker, injured on the play.
Little fake reverse screen action for the Steelers. And get 9 yards here is so important. Gets back into 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5, as opposed to 3rd and 14.
And we will be back to Cincy in overtime right after this. Don't forget, coming up next, most of you will see Oakland at Denver or Seattle at San Diego. 3rd down and 5 for the Steelers at the 46. We're in overtime, tied at 23. The first team to win, the first team to score, rather, wins. And Pittsburgh winning the toss, getting the football first. Dick LeBeau told us that his team would play hard today and score some points. They need to go to the 41-yard line for a first down. Stewart under pressure finds Bobby Shaw. And Shaw is down at the 39, first down, Pittsburgh. A gain of 7.
That's so impressive. Takeo Spikes on the blitz. Watch Cordell Stewart stand in there, take the shot, deliver to Bobby Shaw.
And we talked about Bobby Shaw, Troy Edwards making the plays all year on 3rd down. And Cordell Stewart, very impressive. Knew the blitz was coming, knew Spikes wasn't picked up, stood in there, made the throw, and Bobby Shaw made a big 3rd down grab.
So they're getting close to field goal range. The Browns, 1st and 10 at the 39. The toss for Michael Monfalla. He gets to the 38, a gain of 1 yard. Tony Williams with the tackle. And there's Brown on the sideline. His career long set this year at Kansas City, 55 yards, tying Gary Anderson's club record. But he's been a story all year.
And he slipped down on that extra point that he missed and fell on his back. Had some falling down instances here in pregame warm-up today.
It's just terrible footing out there for the kickers, and so
I'm sure he's going to tread lightly. He's got to really watch that plant foot if he gets in position.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Stewart underneath. It is incomplete. Hawkins trying to pull it up off the turf.
And Cordell Gus was throwing the ball to Jeremy Tooman, who slipped down right over that middle of the field between the hashes. You see him falling down right here. The ball went right over him, was wide open in the middle of the field.
But we've talked about between the hashes and what it's like down there.
A lot of sand, terrible footing.
3rd down 10 at the 39. They're 6 of 16 on the 3rd down conversions. They need to go to about the 29.5 for first down. Here's Stewart under pressure, gets it away, incomplete. Cincinnati coming on the blitz. And the Steelers will punt it away.
Juwan Armour and Takeo Spikes getting in the backfield there.
Here comes the pressure. Watch 33 and 51. There's Armour. Here comes Spike. Bang, right into Cordell Stewart's throwing motion. Wasn't able to set his feet and throw the ball, get some oomph on it down the field,
which is what he was trying to do on that out route.
Bushmanzada, Warwick back deep. This one skipped to Josh Miller, who handles it and gets it away. And a nice punt, which is down at about the 1-inch line.
And Guts, I think Lindsey Jackson might have touched that ball. First guy to touch the ball. He actually stepped on the end line, and if he touched it, the ball would go back out to the 20.
Let's see if he touched it. The officials are marking the ball right there.
At the 38, a 38-yard punt.
You can't step in the end zone and then be the first guy to touch the ball. His foot, there he is stepping on the ball, on the line. Okay, now let's see if he touches the ball. It might touch him.
Did it touch his hand right there or his leg? It does touch it.
That ball should be on the 20. And you know what? The good thing about overtime, they review everything. And so they're going to review that, and that ball is coming back out to the 20-yard line.
Which is legal, an illegal touch. 1st and 10, Cincinnati.
And Gus, if you're in the end zone, it's just like catching the ball. You're in the end zone. You're off the field of play.
And Jackson does touch the football. So Cincinnati should have the football, we believe, at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, no, he did come back out and got both feet back in bounds.
So instead, Bengals have it at the 1. Kitna throwing, caught. And up to the 10-yard line goes Hushmanzada.
And guys, going back to that punt, he did come back in on that replay, slow motion. He got both of his feet back in, which is reestablishing your feet in bounds. Because initially, right there, he's in the end zone. Now he comes back and establishes both feet before he touches the ball, which makes it a legal touch. Fortunately for Lindsey Jackson, the referees, the officials right on top of that call.
2nd down, 1 yard to go for the Bengals. At their own 10. And this is Bennett. Dragging it. Bennett cutting it back. And Bennett up to the 46. A 36-yard run for Brandon Bennett. Dwayne Washington with the tackle.
And what a huge play for the Cincinnati offense, and Brandon Bennett starting off right. Watch the cutback right here. There's the hole. Right off his right tackle, and all of a sudden sees some holes open across the field and comes back, gets an extra 10 yards. Ball security. Notice because he had 2 hands on that ball. The ball's been slide out all day.
1st down and 10. At the 46, play action. Kitna underneath, caught. This is Farmer with the grab. Gets inside Pittsburgh territory. A gain of 15.
And probably going to have to get inside the 25, probably for them to feel comfortable about their field goal situation, and maybe they won't feel comfortable at all. But there's a little bit better turf on this end of the field between the hashes.
And how about Neil Rackers, who's warming up? He's been the GOAT this entire game, and he may get an opportunity to be the hero. 1st and 10 at the 39. They hand it off. Bennett driven backwards. Earl Holmes there. No gain on the play will make it 2nd down and 10.
And a couple times today, the Steelers have had a chance to close the door on the Bengals, and they've let them stick around, let them play in the game, and the Bengals continue to play hard. But this Steeler defense has given up way too many yards for them to have a successful day. And they continue here in overtime, giving up a big play here and there. The Bengals just won't quit.
2nd down, 10 at the Pittsburgh 39. Kitna, the pass to the sideline. Hushmanzada unable to get it. In front of Dwayne Washington covering on the play. Don't forget, coming up next, Oakland at Denver or Seattle at San Diego.
As far as that home field advantage is concerned for the playoffs, the Steelers are battling the Raiders, who play Denver today, and then the Jets next week. And Gus, that Jets-Raiders game next week is going to have some significance, looks like.
As you take a look at the AFC playoff picture, the Jets losing today, Pittsburgh playing the clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
And they'd have to lose both today and next week, and the Raiders would have to win both games for the Steelers to not have the home field advantage.
Here's Kitna again underneath. It's caught. Warwick with the grab at the 26. A gain of 13.
And what a huge 3rd down catch for Peter Warwick. John Kitna, once again, we've talked about when he's had time to throw the ball, one-on-one versus Joey Porter, sliding away from the linebacker. Kitna putting it right on his numbers. And you've got
Neil Rackers.
You've got to think, if you're the Bengals, we need a touchdown. You can't rely on your kicker at this point from any range. They're going to try to get it in the end zone.
1st and 10 at the 26. Empty backfield. Quick strike. Warwick with the running move. And he tiptoes out of bounds at the 22. 6:10 remaining here in overtime, a 15-minute period. Game tied at 23 at the end of regulation. Peter Warwick over 100 yards receiving today. Darnay Scott also over 100 yards receiving, and John Kitna has thrown for 411 yards.
And you got to credit that offensive line for the Bengals, picking up the blitz scheme of the Pittsburgh Steelers, giving John Kitna time to throw the ball downfield.
Kitna once again. Houshmandzadeh in motion. The handoff, Bennett with running room. And he carries Steelers down to the 16. Brent Alexander with the tackle after a gain of 5. Neil Rackers, what's going through his mind? He's missed a 28 and a 32-yard field goal, as well as the game-winning extra point.
I'll tell you what's going through his mind. Throw it in the end zone. We need a touchdown. Don't let anybody tell you anything different.
You're so cold.
Well, I'm so true.
First down and 10, though. The Bengals driving at the Pittsburgh 16. Play clock running out. Do they get it off? Yes, they do. Bennett inside the 15-yard line. Earl Holmes with the stop.
And we've continued to see Bennett in this drive. Not a lot of Corey Dillon. Probably a little bit more of a receiver coming out of the backfield. Bennett a little bit more adept at picking up the blitz. Corey Dillon used to carrying the ball more, not used to staying in and pass blocking. And that's why we're seeing Bennett. And you just can't say enough about the way the Cincinnati team has handled the blitz of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And how impressive of a drive is this for the Bengals? It started at their own 1-yard line. 2nd and 7 at the Pittsburgh 13. Play action. Kitna getting it away. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Brent Alexander going over the top, and that'll be interference.
And it's just Brent Alexander trying to make a play. And if that ball hangs up a little bit and he gets another step, he could be catching it and going the other way. With the ball this deep in your territory, it's worth taking a risk for, you know, a 3 or 4 yard play. Obviously, it's going to be an automatic first down. And I wonder if they're talking about whether it was a catchable ball or not.
There is no foul for pass interference as the contact occurred at the line of scrimmage. Therefore, the contact was legal since it was not beyond. It would be 2nd down.
And Jeff Triplett getting a little tongue-tied.
Well, what they're saying was the ball, it was right at the line of scrimmage, which is right here. And there's Neal going out to try to catch the ball. And there's the contact. Legal at the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd down and 7 at the 13. And a timeout has been called by the Bengals. 4:17 to go in overtime.
Our special display.
Snap. He'll get one more opportunity if the Bengals recover the ball.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. 3rd down, your quarterback's thrown for 420-something yards.
Your receivers have been putting on a clinic. I think I'd take one more crack at the first down.
He's missed a 28-yard field goal, a 32-yard field goal, and an extra point that would have given the Bengals the lead and the win.
And it's looking to me like he found a nice piece of turf down there, at least something that's not indenting as the sand was on the other end of the field, and so he's going to probably have a pretty decent spot. And you see there's some actual grass right there. And Neil Rackers, all the other misses will go away, Gus. If he makes this one, they'll probably carry him off the field.
A 31-yarder, and Pittsburgh now wants to freeze him a bit, make him think about it as they call a timeout.
I don't think he could get in his head any more than it's already probably happening with the misses and the problems that have happened today. So calling a timeout isn't necessarily going to ice him, I don't think, at this point, Gus.
So Neil Rackers with a chance to be the hero here in Cincinnati. Such an important game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers looking for home field advantage, as we've mentioned the entire game. And they've dodged a couple of bullets, at the same time allowing Cincinnati to get back into this game. So here we go. Nick Harris is the holder on the right hash mark. This for the win in overtime. They get it down. It's up, and he got it. And Cincinnati wins it. And here's the AFC playoff picture. The Steelers have not clinched home field.
And let's go back, Gus, to the kick from the right hash. You saw he had a little bit better a piece of turf. Still took some sand right there. And Neil Rackers, that's just an emotional moment right there. Probably some tears, and there's his teammates, and it's been a long, hard day for the kicker. But he rallied when he had to.
Dick LeBeau watching, and the entire team that struggled the entire year. 7 straight losses, and they beat one of the best teams in the National Football League. And Bill Cowher will have to wait another day to get home field advantage. He's beaten here in Cincinnati. But Neil Rackers, what a story. He goes from being the GOAT to the hero. The beautiful thing about sports, he got another chance, and this time he won it for his team. So the final score from Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, the Bengals defeat the Steelers 26-23. They score 16 points in the fourth quarter. So for Brent Jones, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Cincy. It's game 2 of our doubleheader coming up next.